Global Esports were elite in that round. Having the right numbers at the right time and just shooting. I mean, there's no real which way around it, right? The crosshair was at the right spot for the guys on Global.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, NAOS had an idea about getting 2, maybe 3 players towards mid, but then everybody else kind of just came into the party and joined and say, hey, I want a piece of cake. But Nexi, back again towards mid we go. It seems like every round's gonna be here, guys. He's gonna stick at mid, no A, no B. We don't need it.
They both dinked him with a classic.
That's
really unfortunate.
क्रिस्टल लग रहा है
Just not been detected, by the way.
नहीं मेरा पैट्रिक हो बाप रे पापी पापी भाई कल नहीं मारे याद रखूंगा मैं
The gun retrieval's an interesting one, but it's a bit of a safer plant given the scenario. A little bit more open. The door is closed. Moja, you are lucky to be alive for the time being. And if I'm Crystal, I'm thinking, okay, I should probably actually disconnect from the action right now, even though it's 3 versus 2, and that's exactly why. Because there was guns down in mid, and you're challenging back towards the same spot. You can activate the double tap now as well as Jar, and this is really risky. Still 1 versus 2 winnable.
Yeah, it is winnable. Jar's got a shield up. Needs to be a little quick about it though. He's gonna lose it in just about a second, and the minute he loses it, he still gets one though. This fight, not necessarily Kelly will take it in the end there. Really scrappy. Once again, that mid brawl ending up to be pretty favorable for NAOS as they find Global Esports, 3 of them had pistols, so I wouldn't say it's completely lost on them.
It's another costly secondary round though for these teams. Like, what did we see on the second round in map number 1? 3 people dying each time. This time it's 4 coming on.
मेरा 7 सेकंड है
अभी. So that makes things really awkward coming in towards this bonus round.
बाद में देखो ये दोनों में से एक मारा और दूसरा
bonus rounds have been won already. So we'll see if Global Esports can double down on it. Though Sunset plays a bit differently to split. It's a full layering up together with the team scaling up through B main, and you're gonna have to have a really strong hold at the moment from mate Cypher and Sova playing in this market.
Yeah, they've set up Patrick to go deep into towards the side. This is a heavy market.
OG वाले भी उसके लिए लगा रहते हैं. याद है क्या?
That's the kind of setup that they've done for NAOS here. Oh, he's got a player right above him. I'm not sure why Patrick decided to go into that smoke. He could have played a little bit more safer, play on the back of his teammate's utility if at all anything was possible for him. But he's given up his life there. Just had a Bucky. Flash is great. It's not going to help too much, although the fights are not coming through. The tap on the spike comes in. A lot of bullets being spammed here. Mojo finds it first. Kelly has gone down. And the stick is right there. Emin's going to keep it going. And Emin's going to find it all the way through. NAOS find a great retake. And honestly, I have to give credit to the fact that, you know, Xavi and Nexi did not at all push outside of that smoke, no matter what. Because they had that, you know, control in the fact that we're going to hold market. We're going to keep it as retake position. And this is where we're going to attack from. Let them have the site.
There's good patience from them, all things considered, and I'm looking towards the ending scenario there for Crystal. He's in the right spot for the double ricochet recon, but bolts to go, you know, in main in towards the site. But the fact that the dark cover was the one-way dark cover as well, I think actually off-puts the crosshair correct position. So it'd be very funny if that actually was the outcome at the end of it, as he started to get his drone into the mix. However, Uni, as Valorant is, and Valorant should be the second or the third round, which is the bonus, does go the way of the team that finally gets the guns. And you're gonna Groundhog Day yet again back towards the B site, though actually this time locked out by the utility.
इस बार भी बैक साइड के लिए ट्रैप लगा.
Tripwire there, but Udo once again
अलग ही फॉर्म में जा.
Continuing that streak from the previous game, getting himself found out pretty early in the round. It's just been 30 seconds into the game that he's, you know, going in for his lurch. Okay, Mojo.
Oh, that's disgusting.
That's a big kill, and there he goes. Kelly versus Ja. It's gonna be interesting duel, and it's gonna be Ja ready for it no matter what. The spike's been dropped. Both sides of the map that they try to, you know, kind of take control on B. They gave an initial contact, didn't really get much out of it. Again, what he mentioned in the previous game, Komodo, the rotations, you know, a little bit of misinformation to rotate back again. They lose out on players who might have repositioned, not expecting somebody to be up close and personal from NAOS.
I mean, Papi doesn't have from the shadows either, so had to make the marathon journey to pick up the spike. Single dart cover, and you know together as NAOS that you are just playing into a retake. Let him go for the plant, even shuffle up a couple of your feet to try and scare him when you go for the plant. But now the jig is up. This man can come through. They're just going to come together as a unit, and yeah, great dart placement at the end. Really well done to equalize from NAOS.
टाइमिंग नहीं था ना
It's gonna be a second for
कवर प्लान करता
Mouse
तो उसके
here.
स्पेक्ट्रम भी अटैक नहीं
Global
करते बस
Esports.
तो
It's down to Nico now, and they've got just a bunch of sharers to play with. They do have the ability to set up Patrick once again
क्योंकि
with
तू
the
देखेगा ना
overdrive,
वो
if
उस
at
साइड
all,
वाले बंदे ने क्या साथे वो नीचे रुक गए
which
थे
of course in the previous
हाँ,
game was a round.
वो तो है एक ही था
The problem with going for the overdrive in a situation like this is you kind of got to consider what utility your teammates can buy as well. If they need their standard set of utility to assist you going on in, they're overbuying and you're potentially lesser equipped into the next round if you do lose. And if you're playing for the numbers, that is a very real scenario. So yeah, he can get his ult, but it might not even be a premium to try and use it if you're not getting an opening kill or two first.
ये क्या कर
We'll see if
सकते
he does decide to actually use it. You're also not seeing shock darts brought up to be able to destroy these deeper trap wires in towards the side. So it really does come down to
But
playing
gun नहीं ना
in
उसका,
numbers for
classic है।
Global Esports and only using that ult if they get a kill or can guarantee to get a kill on an upgrade.
मार देगा
This is going to be expected here. He was looking in his
Hard,
direction, Yuratan, but was not
पापी को भी एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा हूं
ready for the fact that he had to face a Vandal. Poppy spots the B main push as well. They're making them uncomfortable.
मेरे टाइमिंग वो
Now he's pushing every nook and corner, and look at Ja, dude. He's just going around the map.
Oh,
Knife
the gun
out in the
switch.
hand at the last second. Got a scare there, but puts on his shield back up again. It's gonna be now Patrick to try and delete him off the server.
Team
Oh,
flash
the
हुआ
wall's not gonna help
Team
him, my
flash हुआ
friend. Moshe is gonna help in setting up the party, and Taos is gonna be an absolute graveyard. Global
They're eating
Esports,
them up.
the game plan just kind of fell apart because of Jaws run in towards, kind of walk in towards mid. Went into
Yeah.
Taos, finds Yuratan, goes back towards B, finds another. He was given basically
And that's,
free reign to roam wherever he wants.
And that's exactly my little problem that I'm highlighting in the scenario as well. If you're trying to pop an overdrive at a deficit scenario, there are too many angles that you have to look
ये
after.
तो team flash हो गया
Patrick, I mean, you see him dashing around. You see the team of NAOS already available to get in and dirty to assist the
But
team
push.
just to dispatch of him. So kind of ill-advised in that scenario to be popping an ult like that, where had you hold it, could have been a massive instigator in towards the site.
फक बस दैट्स इट इतना बोल के शांत
Once again, another B hit.
You do have
It's
the
going to be a
break
little bit
on
more
the thunder
quicker this
भाई
time.
कोरियन में बहुत गाल है भाई
Backside, but there's a trip party to stop him there. He's gonna spot it. He knows it's there, Patrick, and he's gonna hold on. A little bit more patience. Nexi,
छोड़ दो ना trip
he does have support in the form of Xavi in back of sight. He comes up to the smoke. Here comes on the Fury and the slide out. He does get the
भाई
one.
दो लेके
It's gonna be
मारा
Jada straight back down again. Kelly keeping the numbers intact for his team. As they now put themselves in the 3v2.
निकल तो जाएगा
A great pickoff once again from Patrick. He did have support
And that.
and Crystal to finish things up. Global Esports turn up the pace.
वही वही वही
Reward for it.
वही
है ना
वो फिर भी साला दो मार के जा रहा था
Crystal Cult वही कर रहे हैं वो, chaos करने के लिए कर रहे हैं उधर।
The trap utility that their opposing Cypher does
Did
put
they-
on down.
Yeah.
Nice timing as well on the distractor Hunter's
Super
Fury in the
big
mix from
help,
Crystal,
yeah.
finding Nexi, finding more angles of
Knuckles.
space for his team to just frolic around the site. No real massive overextension from them, and even putting in that rolling thunder in the
Burger
game
fries.
from Kalias is really nice. So well done from
Taco
Global
है वो,
Esports
taco.
to equalize in that scenario. Though as we have a bit of a
अच्छा नहीं है
timeout
taco.
come on through, I also want to highlight just Eman at the
याद नहीं क्या
moment.
Ant-Man लेके बैठा
What
रहता
have we been seeing from Eman on the server? We've been seeing space together that he finds with a player on the team. So yeah, it doesn't translate into a kill at the moment for him, but his teammates have been, you know, safeguarded by his presence to then find those kills and have impact.
Yeah, you know, his paranoia.
जो Ant-Man के पास रहता है वही ना वो क्रंच रहता है
Side left, you know, on the left box corner. He's been able to paranoia every single time, but that clears out so much space because, you know, they just cannot
भाई
sit
वो
there
भी दो
because
दो
the
देता
market push out comes at the same time to clear off anybody who gets blinded by it. So they've been pretty smart about it, you know. I mean, it doesn't matter how many kills he gets. He's going to continue on with the utility, you know, valuable, you know, the value that he provides. And one more thing I do want to point out once again, Ja one off his ultimate once again. They've got two more, and even Emin actually is one off, you know, from the shadows as well. So now's his ultimate, you know.
अभी हल्क को देखेंगे ना वापस अभी कैप्टन अमेरिका
Global Esports do have two available, but the other
रेड हल्क के वो है जनरल है वो जनरल
It's always great to see the proactivity.
हाँ वो
of
जनरल है
all
वो
the
क्या
gather
नाम है
round. When you've got duelists, for example,
हाँ
like me,
वही
when
जनरल
you've
है
got a 6-point
इधर भी तो है ना वो
ultimate,
जनरल
likewise of a sniper,
एवेंजर्स
then
वाला
if
वो
you're
जनरल
getting
है ना
them plants or diffusers
हाँ, तो
that
मार्वल
go
का
through
सिंबल
there and
है
an orb, you're able to refresh that every second, every third round, and it can be massive.
Yeah.
But we'll stretch him towards a quick round at the moment to come on through. And Eman, I mean, he's not got a kill on the board just yet. He's got a sliver of HP to try and survive with, which does not happen. Here's one of the ults that I mentioned to come on through now. Neural theft, just for your information. This plant goes down.
उसका टाइमिंग एक्चुअली खराब था बट क्योंकि वो रिकॉन वो समझा ही नहीं बंदे इतने पास आ गए ये गलत ही मार रहा भाई उसको मत मार देना भाई वो गलत हो जाएगा भाई ऊपर वाले बंदे को मार दिया तो
नहीं मारा
हाँ नहीं मारा हो गया इजी इजी राउंड आई थिंक जी ने मोमेंटम तोड़ा कुछ तो हुआ भाई
He's gonna play on the back of Mosier's distraction, but it's not gonna be enough. Kelly to finish things off. He's gonna get 3 here, and once again, Global Esports making sure that the
नहीं बट जी शायद समझ गए कि इसको निकालो गेम है अपना मेरे को
Yeah, Kelly
ऐसा
is
लग
just
रहा है
always at the
So
right
ये कर रहा है।
position at the right time, but in the pack,
but-
watching the angles that is required with the rest of his team.
मेरे को एक
covering
सवाल है
what's
भाई।
there as well.
साइफर वातक
Really
क्यों push कर
nice
रहा?
work for the team department to come through from Kalias after the execution in the beginning of that alleyway
क्वेश्चन नहीं
control through
क्या गुड
elbow.
क्वेश्चन है ना
The issue with Eman
गुड
is
क्वेश्चन
we got the guy on the flank. We
नहीं
get
ऐसे
the team, we get the plant and we close it out. Really well done. An immediate adjustment to come on through for NAOS as well to stack 4 players over to
आना ही नहीं हमको
and you know
ये
why? One way information, kill contract available if you hear any steps. They don't immediately, so it means that they have to adjust their positions
वो भी है
and essentially reset on this round. So luckily for now, Uni, luckily,
Yeah.
Global didn't rush B.
Yeah, they didn't. Pretty heavy stack still on towards that A side. They're still feeling like it could be an A hit. Yudo's gonna hold on to any sort of lurks coming in from the mid region, which has
नहीं
happened
इस बार नहीं
before.
कर रहा
But Xavi's gonna spot out all the utility coming into that B site. The drone's been sent out. That's gonna clear out the close site, and pretty soon Patrick's gonna be sliding into that region. But the rotations have already come in here, Komodo. This is gonna be a little
Yeah.
troublesome for Global Esports now.
And it's
अभी सनसेट में
finding
नए
that
नए
dark
एंगल्स आ गए
cover.
भाई
Eman rotates to the right position of B. Zavi's held a lot of this utility, bar those early shot dart lineups as well, so he's got drone and dart for the push retakes when they come out, looking to
Recon.
spam through the util.
नाइस क्रिस्टल
Yeah, he does not get the kill there, but he does
Bye, bye, bye,
allow
bye, bye.
Xavi to actually play in a little bit sneakily here.
बाप रे
Udo's found two towards
Udo
mid,
टन ने
and
तो
he's
पूरा
cut off the
गेम ही
rotations
चेंज कर
completely.
दिया
Xavi's gonna get another.
हाँ ले
Kelly this
ये तो को
time
भी दिया
returns the favor onto Ja, but Xavi, he's crawling aside single-handedly, single-eyed with the
Big door,
longest
eh?
on the side. He somehow found this in a 1v3.
Oh, could
He's
you
gonna
imagine?
stick it. There's no way, right?
Aye.
Nah, they're gonna swing out far.
बाप रे दैट वाज वेरी वही
इस बार खेल
Not
नहीं
on a
मारा
1v3, he's
हाँ
not.
मारा
Oh, it got close at the end though. It makes you wonder if there's any miscommunications from Global at the end of
Udo
that
ने
one. It
अच्छे
potentially
मारा
could
मेरे
get
पास।
upset,
Hmm.
but this time
दो
it's
को
a
मारा
good execution of a flank maneuver working well, right? Yudotan finding the 2 kills. Yes, Avi finds some space in towards it to find Kelly S when he comes out of the kill contract, but there's not much you can do in a 1 versus 3 when you're playing together as a
तो
unit
हुआ
like
भाई
GE
वापस।
do at the remainder of the round.
वो
So
नाउस वाला
very
का
well
हुआ
recovered for Global at the end there, and keeping it consistent, balancing out their credits as well, affording themselves enough of a pass mark in these next couple of rounds where we do start to actually
Gfighting.com
योको में
damage
इधर
the
स्किल
Global
रहे
have
ना
been
ना उसके
finding
बुटकेप से
how much of
हाँ,
an
योको
impact
में
that have
बुटकेप
onto
से।
NAOS's
योको में
chances
साइड
to
साइड में
get
चाहिए
2 rounds
एक
in the
दूसरे
next
से
couple,
पीछे
right?
में।
Half buys, full buys, you drop that.
पता
half
चला वहां से
kills
अभी
away
दरवाजा
from
खुला है
you,
वो कम पिक करेगा
barreling down a little bit.
इधर ये लगा
We've seen
इधर वो लगा
Ja
ठीक
just
है
lose
चलो
kill contract, so you can't rely on that in the next couple of rounds. You're starting to piece together that
Time off
this
ले गए
half
लोगों ने।
is at a little bit of a turning
वो है
point
ना,
for Global
वो
Esports to
एकदम last,
really exceed in it
हाँ।
if they get this next round or two.
वो है जा
अच्छा
Absolutely.
पूरब जा
वो है जा 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 जा
Well, this timeout's gonna give
उसको
them a
बोलो
little bit
जा
more
कर,
to
जा
work
कोई
with.
मसाला।
अरे
Global
तू
Esports
जा
has
रे
taken a solid
ये तू
amount of
जा
momentum
रे
here, at least in terms of momentum. And they've
तू
thrown
मत
down
आ
once
तू
again
जा
to
रे
a
IGL खेल
semi-buy,
रहा है
2
इधर।
handles
हाँ
to
ना।
work upon Xavi and Eman this time around.
अच्छा
वही
है
तो
मतलब
फ्रैगिंग आ
They're
जाए
giving
वैसे
it
भी ना
to Ja once again, but I
I-
feel like
ult
they're probably
मारने
gonna
वाला
go for a
लगता।
heavy can execute here. Moser does have the overdrive available, and it seems like he's going to commit it. There he goes. There's a tripwire to stop him at the moment, but the recon's going to help him. No, it isn't. Yunatan gets him out. Emin's going to trade out in the other way. One more he finds.
सोवा ने ये कर दिया
He's
था
gotten two. It seems that the Vandal worked out perfectly as the ultimate created enough distraction for Emin to actually find space towards that mid-tower.
वो शायद डॉज करने का ट्राई कर रहा था मेरे को तो ऐसा लगा
Follow to the B side, forcefully having to flank now, and they're covered everywhere. They're cut a flank as well.
गन में लगा नहीं
They're going to have to use this Rolling Thunder and take some further space. A player deficit in this scenario whilst they're vulnerable going for a plant too. I mean, already now it's here.
Yeah, and they've got no clue whatsoever. Yeah, both of them are gone. Emin, of course he starts off. Yeah, of course he starts off with the next. Nah, next he steals it away from him.
Wow. What a recovery. What a round to come through from Aman there. I've got to say, man, like, to just individual, when you're not finding kills in the server just yet, you've been peppered down time and time again. You come out with something like that. And I'm talking about the scenario, right? That's an eco to come through from NAOS. That's a pivotal moment for 6 rounds to be found for Global Esports. You drop the next rifle round against theirs, and your money's already skyrocketing. You're building more. You've probably wasted a couple of ults of your opponents who, to be granted, did use
Intelli bada hai
Hunter's Fury for Zabi in that one, right? But they didn't really net too much.
बच गया भाई वो स्टन में बच गया वो
थोड़े से तो वो मारता था
Patrick perfectly there, and that's instantly thrown the A side away from Global Esports. Yuratan keen on finding him back. He doesn't cross him, and he will find him, I believe. Yes, he will. The Neural Theft goes in, and that's a lot of information.
मार दिया जा भी मार जा कोई अल्ट
Nexi does get affected.
Nice.
Paranoid followed up as well. Great utility here. The B side has already been plagued by NAOS. Can they hold it off? Yes, they can. Nexi gets a double, and Xavi covers him up from behind pillar. And Global Esports is full value.
उसका रिप्ले नहीं है उसका रिप्ले है ही नहीं भाई
Single double from Nexi. Well, he was the only one being stunned by that Rolling Thunder as well.
I was going to give a lot of praise to Yutan's courageousness to stick around over at that A site, to go for the kill on towards Eman, to use the neural theft. I mean, you're looking at the utility that you highlight in that scenario, but now you overlook a crucial position and you're down. That was a very good-looking 4 versus 5 deficit conversion that Global might have been able to pick on in this one, where you lose Patrick first. Yutan looks to bring it on back, but then you just have a bit of an overextension here. You overlook a little sliver corner that loses, and some nice pivot timing from the rest of NAOS to close that round. I mean, when you're looking at the timeout that comes through earlier, Uni, you're looking for what sort of conversation you need to have when it's 5 versus 3. Now it's 5 versus 3. Whatever NAOS decided to talk about has worked a treat. Now, I want to flip the onus back on the Global. All right, put your heads together.
उसके बाद ही तो इको जीता ना वो लोगों ने.
What do you need to do to make it 7-5?
I really believe that, Global Esports had the information. That neural theft gave them enough to know that, NAOS are really quickly just kind of, hurrying through obstacles to run into that B site. So,
it's an emotion.
Committing to that
It's not just a game, man.
A little too hasteful from Global Esports. I'm not sure at what time the clock was ticking.
It's not just a game, it's just a game.
I feel like
It's not just a game, it's an emotion.
Take it a
और
little
वो गेम और इमोशन GE
that Neural Theft gave them everything to win that round. They found Ja as well popping out through that smoke. Maybe right now they need to kind of hold and see where NAOS is starting to push, because NAOS are starting to get a little more proactive than they were in the first couple of rounds.
Yeah. I mean, this is an important one for Global Esports as well, right? Look at their credits at the moment. If it's lost bonus, you're playing with a couple of lesser weapons in the next one. No real ultimates built up either, so there's a big premium on figuring out this round at the moment, and you're immediately getting counterspammed of you still trying to get on in. There's flashes around, and there's no kills just yet until finally Patrick dispatches of his counterpart, Neon.
बहुत chaos.
Gonna be left again once on mid, and pretty early into the round that he's trying to find a pick off. He does miss timing on Xavi, but Xavi, look at him, he's actually crawled in towards mid.
No.
Timing is off here, and it's all gonna be on Yutan's pick. If he finds Xavi, or Xavi finds the flank before he does, but just put the pressure on. That's gonna be no smokes, and they cross each other, and Utatan's been found. The timing's off, and NAOS have
क्योंकि उसने
probably
देखा
gotten the
जरूर
round
तो
of
मेरे को
their
लगा
hands just on the back
कुछ
of
साला
that kill.
ब्रूटन जल्दी पिक देगा बे कि
Well, the
बस
biggest
सोच
thing is
रहा
as
भाई
well, what timing
देखो
do you want
cover
to see
cover
from
कर रही
Nexi around the map to be able to use that neural theft too? He's not going to relinquish control of the A site that he still has with his spy cam, with his trap wires as well. You're playing a numbers game now as now, so you're waiting to see where Global
शक्ल
goes.
के
Because what have you
नीचे
already considered? What have you already found out? They use their
शक्ल बंद
utility
है
to gather some of this B-man control. They don't have any
ऊपर
ultimates to throw into
अबे
the mix. Yeah, Eman doesn't spot anything with
लंड
that
बंदा है बे
relocation
आल्ट
from
मारा
the
बे
shadows,
उसने
yields nada. But
Very
you're
difficult.
still at a
Omen.
numbers game. You've still got 20 seconds on the clock, and as soon as Nexi sees any liquor damage, they rotate over. Global Esports have to multi-frag early in this post plan.
Yeah. That's gonna go down, and they're gonna try and be a little more proactive towards mid. Oh,
मारेंगे
they spot a one. I'm pretty sure they're gonna be ready for this. The swing out
वो
comes.
लोगों ने मार
That
दिए
was a
बे
little too late. Kelly
Stun
is.
done है
It could have
stun
been a
late
little
हुआ
earlier. The
चिपका
timing
उस
was
पे
off. They
नहीं
know
चिपका
exactly
नहीं
where
बाजू
he
में
is
गिरा
as well. Spamming bullets through the boxes, and that was just misaligned. A little bit of miscount. I feel like I'm not sure if
Actually,
the
वो
stun was
stun की भी
available
पड़
in
नहीं
the
है बे ये
fall.
लोग
It was
whiff
just
किए
not there.
वो
हम्म
फंसा
Spotted
था
him earlier.
फिर भी
Yeah.
whiff किए सालों
It should have come
It's
half a
whiff
second
हुआ
earlier.
the
दोनों
problem
के
is
बीच
they
में मारा
spotted
भाई
Nexi
ये
out
मेरा
Turn
early.
late
They
हुआ
weren't exactly sure if he was
He's
going to
just
push when the
me.
players top mid
Yo,
started to
मैं
scale on up, I feel. So it's the
दोनों के
difference
बीच
for
में
Kelly
क्या
S
ना वो
trying to
वही
deter
कस्टमर
Nexi
लोग
from flooding in towards the site early to potentially pinch into it, but also then assisting the team for their peak. And it does come down to that literal
Alta
half a
Soaka.
second difference of getting that fault line readily available and lock them in. Yeah. So now this is the other end of the stick that I was talking about earlier, right? It's where that round goes to NAOS. They've got a very comfortable buy. And Global Esports, in getting the plant actually and a little bit of the damage, they still do manage to muster up an okay purchase in towards this round.
बाप रे
Yeah, they're doing what they did previously. We
हाँ
saw this yesterday on
अपने को
Sunset
बचा
OG. That triple split they do towards Market, B main, and towards Link. Back in towards Spawn.
निकाल ले
Great kill onto Eman. A little overextension once
नियॉन
again from
अटकाने का
Patrick.
परफेक्ट मतलब ये है कि जाए
Here
के
you go.
बाद
Crystal does get one trade back. Could find a second. Not going to be the case. The plant's gone down. It's a 2 versus 3. Ja does have a wall to kind of isolate the fight onto the player on site. All he needs to do is anticipate any
मार रहा बे वो
Slide's gone back up again. Tap on the spike. He's going to let his teammate do the bit of suppression for him. Further, he goes closer. Gets the first. Josh doing everything.
Okay.
Outgoes the ult, and that's going to be it.
Defuse,
He's going to stick
defuse.
the defuse, and Ja, all he needs to do is just stay alive until he can defuse and he
हाँ
doesn't
निकाला बे इस जोन ने
gets the kill
खेला
yeah,
बे
from
जा
Happy,
बहुत बड़ा
as the
खेला भाई मजाक नहीं
nervousness
कर
of
रहा
trying
हूँ
to run in towards him and fight him will give now
कुछ
7
भी
5.
खेल रहा
Still
भाई
the
वो
lead, but they will find themselves ahead at the end of the first half.
Always one of those situations at the end there where if you're Papi, it's
अबे उसको साइफर का फुट आया साइफर
there's no
बहुत
way you're winning that. Even if
दूर
you
था
win the 1v1 in the gulag, you gotta get time to
हाँ
run back to the site.
बॉल डाला
Someone who
वो तो है
probably has already stuck the defuse just by how much time is actually bought by Ja in the ultimate, right? So yeah, really unfortunate for Global Esports at the end there where they go in guns a blazing,
maybe
right?
वही सोच रहा हूँ
Fingers activated over for Patrick, getting up to the mid, wrapping around, opening up on towards Moja. You got Crystal, who as well is throwing in towards that Hunter's Fury, right? It's looking pretty plausible for Global, but at the end doesn't really happen. And another big salute over to Jar, I guess I'll say in this one too, right? Because his kills on that defensive side, ending with 17 at the half. He's only up from here.
Yeah. Now it's pretty quick beat hit over here. They've gotten control pretty easily, and they should be getting the plant done in just about a second. Mosier's found one. Now Xavi goes in. Actually, never mind. They don't want to go for the plant here. They just wanted to fight straight up, and they want to make Global Esports feel the pressure. And that's left the IGL alone.
भाई कुछ भी मार रहा भाई
GG हो रहा है
He's on a roll, and so is
Ja
भाई
Spartan
जीजी हो रहा भाई
मेरा प्रेडिक्शन आज इतना गंदा कैसे हो सकता है देखो
भाई तू ही बोल रही है साला
But then comes the
साले
flash
मैंने
from
2-0
the
कल
main
तो नहीं
side
हुआ
from
साले जो मैं
Nexi,
बोला
and it was perfect to set up Xavi and Mosier both together.
As soon as you feel like there's 2 or 3 players and you counter that bit of early utility in towards market, you kind of know that you can't slow it down and that you've got to keep on going as well. I mean, contingency out from Jar, you follow
इस
that,
मार के
you've
बैठा है
seen
भाई
no recovery from Global Esports to try and challenge and getting back in towards
हाँ
the fight. They are just losing the duels in that point in time, not able to adjust.
जीत है
I mean, you got to give credit towards NAOS in that scenario to just realize that they cannot continue to barrel down and go for the fight. And for Global Esports, I mean, the pistol round was sorely needed, I feel like, to get a good start on this defensive side, right? it doesn't go their way, and they're down to essentially 9-5. If they hell drop the bonus,
अगर
that's
भी गए तो
10-5,
इनका
and
पूरा
that's
plan
looking
success.
really rough. So this is the time for Global to really have a shining moment. Probably not this round, in the next round.
उधर तनवा
Towards
उसका fight
their
है
bonus.
बाप
ये
रे।
पूरा
Things out, although I'm a liar.
ले ले घोष ले
निकाला
Udatan's
निकाला
classic
उधर
free
तक
weapon double tapping about.
ले लेना
Yeah.
Ghost है ना
He's
Ghost
gotten control of
ले ला ले ला
it.
ले ला ले ला।
with 3 vandal है
It shouldn't be.
हाँ
He's done a lot more damage to
Team
Classic as we've
Vandal
seen
भाई।
in history, but right now,
ये राउंड
Global
गलती से भी
Esports,
हार
they
गए ना
still sticking on that
मतलब
A-side,
like
by the way, and
ये
look
लोग
at how
समझ
हाँ,
far
मजा है।
deep into their territory NAOS have gotten in. They could go all the way into spawn. They could go right behind the A site, do so much damage. And Ja, they've just left Ja to hold out the rotation in case it comes through from spawn.
Yep.
That tap of the spike is going to be relayed as information,
Are-
and here they come.
अरे
Just sitting
कोई sponsor
back,
आओ,
sipping
कोई
on some
sponsor
boba
आओ।
as well, taking the forward
दो लोग आ रहे।
stride
जा
that
रहे
you
दो
want
लोग,
to
nice।
do. Classics here,
Nice।
Uni.
Yeah.
Shorty.
Yeah, of course.
बहुत एक
Double
vandal
tap down. He's got
Oh,
support.
oh.
M is gonna come here. Just kind of adding up to his skill.
बहुत
Tally seemed a little too
अबे
low for him.
कोई spike के पास भी
Considering
रहोगे
his standards.
मैं बोला
Not
सब
gonna
उधर
leave Udatan alone. He started
चलो
off the
तीनों
round with
vandal
one kill.
recover तो हुए
He's
होंगे
probably
भाई
have to end it with the 3, but it's gonna be a dream 3 kills. If
Spike
at
से
all,
मार जा
he needs to
बोलना
win this round. No time though. Time's not his friend.
नहीं वो
We'll maybe go for an exit. Not gonna work out his
हाँ,
favor. Mojo's just
ऐसे
gonna
वाले।
let him die to the spike as
Yeah.
they build up 9.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see that first kill come out from Udatan, but you do see just not an immediate, oh, we have to go because we've lost main from NAOS. It's still very level-headed and very measured to go for the forward space, right? Even against the pistols, I feel like NAOS give them complete respect in that scenario. And
Pistol
Global
थक गया नहीं
Esports
लग रहा है
staying
वो?
with 4 on the A side, it does make sense. Had
गला
they
वाला
rotated
मारो
back
ना
and
साला
it
वो।
was just a lurking player that Udatan did find, they would have had numbers to contest over at the A side. So I still want to give a good benefit towards
मजदूरी कर रहा है वो बस
they are
पास।
playing the numbers
ये
and strengths in
vulnerable
that
देख के
scenario
मेरे
that
को
they
डर
are
लग
dealt
रहा है,
with, but
guys।
at the end, I mean, it is just those
हाँ।
pistols against the
Yeah,
right.
vulnerable।
Some time to set themselves up on the line, and now into the freshie as well. I mean, look at this phase changer coming out from Global Esports. They are the aggressors
Udatan.
on this defensive
Udatan.
side. It's Udatan for
Udatan
3, but Zabi, he's looking for more. Uni, it's
बाप
not
रे।
happening. You blink and you miss it. Udatan.
वो बहुत जल्दी push कर देने का
delivering the
मैं।
spicy goods.
अबे
Yeah,
एक्चुअल
absolutely.
पता है क्या वो
Big
नियॉन
pressure on
खेला
that
है
A side over there. They made sure that
इनका
now
कौन है वो मेगा
feel
क्या
that
जो
they're
भी
not gonna get away
अबे
with
इसका
these players they
vulnerable
thought
में
they could.
3
Ja
vulnerable हुए
tried
3
maybe, you know,
हाँ,
to
ऊपर पीछे आ गया ना,
swing
stun हो गया तो।
to swing out a kill them,
वो
but
इससे
no,
अच्छा
the
मारा
pressure
तो
on that aim
एक ही
inside
गोली में
allowed
मर
for
गया।
Udatan को देखो
to
कम
actually
push
slip
किया
in
वो।
between the cracks. The amount of
हाँ,
utility that
push
was
किया,
dumped
पूरा
here
push कर दिया
made
वो।
NAOS kind of just feel uncomfortable, and they ran into places where they've
उधर
gotten players
मतलब
already
kill
standing ready
करता
for
है
them.
तो
Papi went down pretty early, by the way, towards mid, and that I think kind of
Actually
helped
Udatan
Udatan
और
because they
Papi
didn't expect him to be there
push
and
किए
go
mid
pushing out
actually
to
उनका plan ऐसा कुछ
Yeah.
था।
You got to talk about a successful bonus round to start off your endeavors on this defensive side, though, and that's exactly what you love to see from Global. Udatan as well. Neural Theft available on the flip side. Jar, who's still silently achieving what he wants to on this attacking side. Getting that kill contract to be available too. So in this slow scaling up through B main, it's a little bit more rapid as Global Esports are not moving.
देखना वो
from
info
B
निकालेगा और ult
whatsoever.
मारेगा मेरे को ऐसा लग
This
रहा
might
है।
actually
नहीं, ऐसा
transition
कुछ
into an early
नहीं, कुछ
retake.
info आया ही नहीं।
As they finally do start
ISO
to
का
rotate
बोल
on
रहा है।
over.
हाँ, ISO का
That's
बोल।
still going to be go time for now. So, I mean,
Info,
you got to
ये
consider
आया
that
होगा
there's
अभी
more
देखना
Cypher utility seeing that one-way
कि
cage.
नियॉन बी पे आ रहा है करके क्योंकि वो पुश दिया ना क्या
हाँ वो तो नहीं बट वो लोग बीच करेंगे लग रहा है। हाँ बीच कर रहा है देख अल्ट मारा। उठाया Udatan को ही उठाया भाई। भाई साहब
सब निकल गए फ्री किल आ गए भाई उडटन को उठाया तो वो उठाया 3 किल 2 किल और फ्री में दिए सालों ने
पहले उसको मारा। हाँ पहले जो देख रहा था उसको मारा फिर उसको मारा जो स्विंग ले था।
Well,
आराम से खेल रहे
that's it,
हैं
isn't it?
ये कौन बढ़िया लग
Three
रहा है मेरे को।
simultaneous
अच्छा
kills to come through from 3 different members over on
ISO
the side
को
of
ज़्यादा
NAOS when that ult
overpowered है ये
goes down. I
कौन
mean, you play Distractor at that moment, right? Because when that ult comes down, it does really change for Global Esports how they have to try and defend off that B site. Look who got pilfered out, right? Your Cypher, so your trips, they're no longer protectable, right? They're no longer able to be played around by the Cypher, who at that moment in time, Udatan is in the right spot to play on his utility, and it's not there. He's gone. So the rest of the squad, they fall like flies. And now it really is the time for Global Esports to try and take some further space. Try and cheat some rotates, I feel like. Because if this round does get dropped, well, it becomes bad to worse. And now the jig is up. Positions are revealed. And this is immediately going to shift into a
मेरे को वही लगता है टायर 2 में नहीं क्या बहुत अच्छे टीम्स है अपने को पता नहीं भाई
अरे लेकिन ये भी वैसे टायर 2 है वो
टायर
खरीदे
भी है
उन्होंने
क्योंकि सभी प्लेयर वैसे ही है ना
So NAOS might be getting a little itchy to actually, you know, kind of push
अबे
out
आप कल का सनसेट देख के बराबर है आप
feel more pressure.
कल का सनसेट देख के नहीं कि ये सनसेट को बोल नहीं सकते थे कि जी जीतेगा क्योंकि कल ओजी टीम है वो लोग उतने बड़े टीम नहीं है मेरे को नहीं लगता
Burst out, capable players from both their agents. There is a counter stun as well, not going to be good enough. The flash is going to keep them back. He needs to get in here. Patrick. So much util being dumped here. Ready for it? No, he isn't. It's going to be a burst on the face. Once again, it's the Vandals. One by one, the weapons being
बहुत टाइम है भाई हाँ ये योकम निकाला भाई वो जो मारा भाई उसने
वो छोड़ो एचपी देखो सबके
हाँ
सबके एचपी देखो भाई मतलब तू एक बात बता क्या अपनी टीम में कम्युनिकेशन है क्यों बताओ क्या वो लोग बराबर देखना डिफ्यूज वगैरह कमिट करने के लिए सबको कॉल दिए बराबर एचपी जिसके जाता है क्योंकि तुम लोग
वही क्योंकि वो टैग हुआ अल्ट से टैग हुआ वो एक
I don't know how he's been able to survive in that one. Honestly, there were a lot of chances that players had guns ready, and it was just him on the screen. But that's just, you know, the open areas that the members of NAOS are actually sitting in towards to allow that one to come towards them. And at the end of it, I mean, there wasn't enough damage delivered to global members for the Hunters Fury to find any of them, right?
Why is it like
Bolts on towards the spike, 80 damage total. No time to get any shock darts out and deny that defuse as well. So for Global Esports, when you need an individual member to go above and beyond, generally it will be your duelist, or generally when you've got a star-studded clutch player like Papi on the roster, or you've got somebody like Yudatan who has just been so consistent in bringing forward clutches and bringing forward consistency on a roster. You know, those are the players you're looking for. But the young gun, the new fresh guy on the agent that abuses things, that's a big one. That's a huge one. That's the way that Global Esports get back into this game.
Absolutely.
अगर ये लोग अभी बी टेक करते थे ना पक्की से नहीं होता था रिटेक
हाँ ए होता
पर ए होता क्योंकि देखा ना तो वो
एंगल बहुत है हाँ और उसने वो वॉल बहुत जबरदस्त डाला वहां से बराबर वो उसके अंदर स्लाइड मारा वहां
Destroy jar. Step 2. Well, nobody else is shooting, so win.
I get that. I've seen that script before, and it seems like it's gonna be Patrick that's trying to do that. Right? He's already in their spawn.
बाप रे योकम उसको दिखाओ चेंज मत कर भाई वही
स्लाइड कर रहा है पहले स्लाइड जंप कर रहा था अभी जंप स्लाइड
वही जंप स्लाइड कर रहा कॉल ऑफ ड्यूटी खेल रहा है
Like I said, I've seen that script before, and you exactly, you know.
योकम को सच में माना मैंने अभी
योकम का दिमाग खराब हो गया
Stepping things up, it's got the lightning strikes 3 times this time around. A fourth not going to be possible. He's not going to be ready for that.
Holy crap, वो फ्लिक मारा होता ना और मजा
Not a minute to work with.
बस एक ऐसे एक गोली था
Make a good play because look at the position of these players. They're so far apart at the moment. 2 on B. I mean, going to be the call.
You got to consider this as 1 versus 3, right, Uni? You just got to group up together. If I'm looking over at that radar and I'm seeing 2 trap wires at the A site against the Sova, I'm probably just repositioning that trap wire that's on the side itself and cordoning off the site completely in its entirety, right? You then don't even need to give a chance that you can have a 1 versus 1 against him. False start. I mean, that location is expected to be false, so this should already be giving you the 100% security that it's ending to be.
Yeah, holy crap. He's just gonna slowly crawl in and look at that rotation. They're gonna go in towards market now, expecting him to be there on the site. Xavi's got no idea. Market is pretty much open. He's gonna have to play on the back of his gut here. He needs to go for the plant. There comes the sound. Yudatan's gonna start rotating off.
उनको पता नहीं पीछे वो.
There's no time.
They don't know that he's actually back to sight, and yeah, there it is. The stun lasted long enough for Kellius to swing him out and take him out. Global Esports on 8. They're gonna slowly
Yokom.
क्या मारा भाई वो दो
सारे सीधा. और लेकिन ऐसे भी नहीं उसके क्रॉसर में थे.
ये तो गलत था
Yeah, I mean, the
उसके
biggest
बाद
thing
भी वो
again is
स्मोक
just
से
the
वो स्मोक गलत
from old mate
मैं
on
एक
the
बात
neon,
बताता,
right? Patrick
नियॉन
Who just
इजी में
running
भी पता है
around,
कि
guns
अगर
are blazing,
1v1 बंदे
lightning
मिल रहे
strikes
थे
3
इसको
times
पूरे
as you
1v1
mentioned.
मिले थे
But once moreover,
पूरे
it was
1v1
Jar
मिले
yet
दो जन
again
के
looking
बीच
for
में
the
मारने
kills
वो फिर
around
बड़ी
the
बात
map.
होगी
You take him down, and it feels like it makes things just a little bit easier. So we really have a
stun.
massive duelist battle to be prevalent in this map right now, and it's going to continue on again with a massive installment of NAOS
मार्क
members
कसम
over at
चार
the
तो
side.
फ्लैश चुके
Shutdown
हैं
is
भाई
squandered though. Early retaliation
Yeah.
of utility didn't come out from Global Esports will stop them in their tracks.
Yeah, actually, great retaliation for Poppy. That one paranoia was actually enough to actually push all of them back to where they came from, and the re-clearance commits a little bit more utility.
ये बढ़िया है ये बढ़िया है
If it actually spotted these two players here, but they're playing a good setup. Shockdart comes through.
फायदा
They
नहीं
spot them, but they're ready for
भाई
everything. Kelly
भाई
finds the third, brings down his sheriff. Will
हाँ
he find the fourth? No, Shavi's gonna take him out there. But Crystal will make sure that the flank from Nexi is not going to
इसको
support
मिड
him
वाला अबे
any longer.
1v3 में
Thrown
रहा
out to make things a little bit easier. Once again, it's going to be Xavi in a 1v3.
वापस ही जाएगा मारेगा
देखते हैं ना क्या
मारेगा पिंक
मार
One
देना
of the crosshairs of both these members.
Yeah.
Instant decapitation again from Patrick. He has
वो
certainly
डबल पिक बढ़िया था नहीं
बहुत
क्या
खुश ले क्या
on this map.
हाँ
And
टीम
it's good adjustments
वो
from
एम
Kelly
रिसेट
in
बढ़िया
this
किया
mode as
उसने
well, right? When you've got the utility coming
ये
through,
वाला अभी
you're
हाँ
not turning
ये
around to dodge any flashes as well because you know
ये शॉट लगता था ना मजा
now
आती
playing
थी
Breach, now I'm playing Gecko. You
नहीं
can
वे
see
वो
the
क्रॉस
trail
एरी
that's
थोड़ा
coming
दे
your way.
लेकिन अपन बोल रहे हैं जी को जी एक्चुअली हाइपिंग में खेल रही याद होगा
On your opponent's gunplay
अबे
for
वो
Global
मैं
Esports.
वो
पिंग
तो
का
है
बात
I
नहीं
really
करता
feel like
यार
these
हाँ
past couple
मैं
of
नहीं
rounds
बात
after that
करूंगा
50,
अभी
they're
क्योंकि
recognizing that
ये पिंग
now
उनके
they're
लिए
playing
नॉर्मल
numbers.
ही है भी
Now they're
40
playing
50
layered
नॉर्मल
utility when they're revealing
अच्छा
themselves
Opponent का
वो
बिस्कन
on what positions they want to
वो
tackle.
ऐसा कोई बड़ा
If
पिंग
Global have
नहीं
recognized that,
है
they are playing the game that
के
they
पिंग वालों को
should
हरा
be right
देना
now.
ऐसा
Oh
कुछ
my
सीन
god,
नहीं है
the aggression here. Josh taking him out. Just going to trade him off instantly.
हार के
high IQ
So far.
तेरी
But look at Kelly S.
और एक
Another great position. The IGO will only get one.
अभी पुश कर रहे अपने बंदे भाई डायरेक्ट
Now
और योको में
able
क्या
to maintain
ऊपर मेन बंदों को निकाल दे बे अभी
number
मुश्किल है
so far. It's a 3 versus 2 right
योकम
now.
को नोटिस
Now,
कैसे नहीं
have an
किए वे
advantage. If they're able to
वही वो
find
ऊपर
that
कर
one
जाके
that
बैठ गया
sort of
उल्टा
आगे
capacity
पॉइंट भी
on
है
the
सारा
lane
तुम
now,
लोग नोटिस ही
information is
नहीं
going to
और
be
निकाला भी मेन बंदे को जो मार रहा
because he is going to be exposed. He's kind of wide jumping here. Takes a chunk of damage, goes down to almost half
गाला
HP.
खाओ
Now have information of the fact that the Cypher is a little, kind of soft.
नहीं मोयर
For
का
a
ये
retake,
Ult
the
है
ultimate would be large if he goes for
Neon
a
ult
mid
है वैसे
traversal. However, he
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily need to
मेरे
give
को
it up
उसका neon
early
ult
because
को उतना भरोसा नहीं है
there's no
हाँ मेरे को
advancements
उसका
towards the spike
पता ही
sites
नहीं
yet for NAOS. He's still got
जिस
his
तरह से
utility
योकम
on
हाईलाइट
the
बना रहा ना
side,
वो
so he's
उसका नहीं
okay
दिखा
for
उतना
himself
कुछ
to dance there, and good initiative from the remaining global members to take B main space.
तीनों
They know it's
spawns
either
आ
mid to B or it's mid to A.
नहीं उसको दिख
because
जाएगा
this
टाइम
util has seen
बढ़िया
nothing.
क्या
Dark
पोजीशन
cover one way over at short will disincentivize any pushes there, but also
साला
give
वो
up
भी
some
उधर
information to
ये
NAOS that they can
पापी
start
को भी
to
बोला
wrap
दिया क्या
around this site to A.
देख ले
And there's that info from the camera uni that I mentioned earlier.
पिक पिक पिक
left, left, left.
To find the first. No, he's not taking the other corner. He didn't see Xavi walk in from main, and that's going to be the problem. 2 versus 3 now. Drone to reveal a little bit of information. He's got one smoke to work with. Maybe can isolate a little bit, but look at the amount
क्या
of
smoke
smoke
से
already
भी
on that site. It's going to cause problems. One of them straight
तीन
away,
तीन
2 of them
smokes
gone.
पे भाई वो
And there comes the flank now. Xavi's
Oh,
taking
damage.
advantage of the information that he's gained. He's going to create some chaos for his team to actually walk in. But no, back they come from elbow. Smoke's going down. Out comes the ultimate. This time it's going to be lightning from Mosier. Could be enough for him.
पापी भाई
Poppy.
Oh,
once
shot.
again,
पापी भाई
Ready, get
पापी भाई इसलिए तो खरीदे भाई पापी भाई
बस
entire game
अबे
so
तू
far.
देखा क्या मैं बोला वो नियॉन
As
कुछ
Poppy
काम
हाँ
नहीं है
उनका नहीं मुंह पे वो सीधा आ रहा बे सीधा आ रहा वो
for Global
कितना रहा वही
Esports.
तो
Why does anyone remove Papi from Omen? He
बराबर
is the Omen agent player. He is so significant when it
बराबर
comes to relocation and timing
भाई वो
from
क्या
the shadows,
मारा भाई
rapid
बट
step
वो
locations, but
सेकंड
also
का
recognizing just pure timing on when to use an Omen's abilities and when to not as well. Sticking it to
जाका
Emma
kill नहीं हुआ
at the
भाई 2
end.
राउंड
उसके बाद वही वही आ गए ना अभी
You think you've thrown a dark
उल्टा
cover
जी
as an
एकदम
Omen, you think you
consistent
can
खेल रहा
move
मेरे
kind
हिसाब
of
से
immediately, right? You gotta wait for
अबे
it to bloom. You
कंटिन्यू
gotta wait
कर रहा
for
हूँ
it to
शायद
become
अभी मजा है
cover. And
वही
he does.
अभी शेर राउंड ने
A little
वापस
bit unfortunate for Naos, but
एक्चुअली नियॉन चूते हैं ये
Amazing.
राउंड में उसको
मा-
सेव करना था
Yeah, and once again, they just
ट्रैप होगा रे ट्रैप है उधर
they had. But look at Mosier, he's found his own. Global Esports take mid. Now say we're gonna
नहीं,
just
spike
kind
है
of
लेकिन।
wrap you around and
हाँ
take
स्पाइक
B
और वो
side
पीछे से
from
आएंगे ना
region.
अभी अटैकर डिफेंस करेगा
He's one away from his ult
He's in their
once
spawn.
again.
उनको पता नहीं
Yeah,
पीछे से
he's in
ऐसे
their
पता
spawn
है
once
मार्क
again.
किया उसने
Again, he's in the same position as he was.
The only real problem right now is the spike is in B main and Jar is in their spawn. There's
भाई
no
वो
opens
ज्यादा
available to
काफते भाई
relocate whatsoever from the side of NAOS, right? So they are a little stuck on this
इसका कुछ
eco
फर्क नहीं
territory
पड़ेगा पर
situation.
हाँ अल्ट मार दे
Neural Theft in is just going to secure where Jar is and where the spike is currently getting a plane to the B site. But are you really going to try
इतना क्यों इन्वेस्ट किया बट मेरे को वो नहीं समझ रहा
No, you're going to get eaten by Hunter's Fury. Nearly dead for Moja. So I don't know. You need 2 versus 3. Oh.
वो हटा मोजा होगा निकाल दे
नाइस
इजी भाई इजी
भाई अभी उनका सेव नहीं अभी से होता ना या सेव है अभी
अभी बाय
हाफ
शायद
बाई था मतलब राउंड बाई
अभी बाय
नहीं हाफ बाई हाँ
पर उन्होंने 2 अल्ट यूज किए मेरे को वो प्रॉब्लम है केजी का सोवा अल्ट यूज किए और एक साइफर का ठीक है सोवा अल्ट
कम का आएगा ना मे बी अल्ट अभी नहीं एक पॉइंट चाहिए और
लग रहा
at the right time, at the right place, and the trades are perfect so far in the last couple
भाई ओकम को बोलो भक्के का उनका
really
बाकी जनों का नेट
उनके
काट
पास
के
4 अल्ट है
punished and isolated. He's not
Jack
able to find a lot of
like
space.
ready है
Global Esports aren't giving him the
Killing
opportunity
है
where they're lurking
गरम
around
नहीं है उसका
individually
आत्मा
anymore, right?
हाँ,
They're
वो तो है।
together as a unit going
Killing नहीं हो
fast
रहा
in a couple of these early rounds. What Jar is kind of relying upon has been these individual.
ऐसे ही रहता है एक समय पे बक्का बक्की होते फिर एक बार रुक गया ना तो थोड़ा हो जाता
But
फिर
I am looking at the positioning in this round for Global Esports. If you want to counter a kill contract, playing in standard positions and standard lanes on that B site particularly is not a very good realization on what you might be expecting from NAOS at the moment. You hear the shock dart, that's got to give you information as Crystal that this ultimate could potentially be coming on in.
नहीं लिया
There you go, and
Left
it's
हो गया
dodged as well. Really well done from Crystal.
क्रिस्टल टाइम पे
Away
लेफ्ट हो
from
गया
that one, but
राइट हो गया
Yeah,
technically you have relinquished control of the site.
and now they're going into market. Now this is what we were afraid of. They did it the last time as well, forcing Global Esports all the way back, even from market, finding two, and then look at how quickly they've repositioned.
अब देख दोनों duelist sides committed fight करेंगे देखना ये मेरे को
control, fight them, push them back, and then go
देख
back
बाकी के
yourself and
3
play
प्लेयर
great
बाहर है
baseline
पर
positions.
साइड में दो duelist कुछ ना कुछ तो ताकत करेंगे देखना टाइम वेस्ट
Can they hold off on the retake that's
मर गए
coming in? It's
तो
still 3-3.
उसको चेक करना पड़ेगा उसको चेक मारा भाई योकम निकाल दे रहा हूँ जी ने
Keep shooting bullets, one after the other. Now it's start relinquishing control here. Next team just the one.
Time?
He's gonna have to
पता
stay
नहीं।
alive as long as possible.
डिफ्यूज कर
निकाल एक
हो गया
हो गया
डिफ्यूज है
Is too far away, and there's no way they
can't
can
stop
stop
that.
him from defusing. Poppy's gonna get it all the way down. And it's
Nice one.
Wow, okay, then he jumps
फिर भी वो क्या देख रहा था भाई
but Poppy will trade
सेव
it.
राउंड है मतलब लाइक हाफ बाय हो गया
मैच पॉइंट आ गए बे जी कमबैक बे चलो कमबैक भी करना आता दिखा दे वो लोगों ने
Paranoia in that one as well. The fact that that goes down onto the side at the right time, allowing the team to get the kill,
Defending
obviously
है।
cross from the stairs to the main as well. You can see that now they're trying to try and play from a post plan.
अबे नहीं तो ऐसा भी हो सकता ना थोड़ा मतलब
Down moment as well.
आगे वाला क्या कर रहा है वो समझने को कभी कभी
To
टाइम
come
लगता
through
ना
from Global Esports, and then at the end recognizing that hey, Sova's nowhere near the action. We can defuse
डिफेंस
this
में
and restart
समझने की
his bolts.
कोशिश कर सकते हैं
Really nicely done
समझ रहा है
from
क्या?
Global at the end there. Now on map point, trading each other's, well, rather
समझ रहा
gathering
है
moments.
एग्जीक्यूशन प्लानिंग अगर
अरे ये तो खत्म कर रहा है यहीं पे
It's again.
ये भागो
He's in the spawn
कम
as a
जो
Neon.
उसके पीछे टीम पूरी
Yeah.
मारा हाँ बच गया
आ गया योकम आ गया
आ गया वो आ गया
Come on the flank. He's gonna lose his ultimate though.
एंड खत्म हो
फाइट
गया
खत्म हो गया
नाइस
ओडोटान है ना बाकी योकम नहीं
दोनों बैक साइड है अभी
They're losing out one by one, and it's all on to Emma to hold this corner. He's not gonna be able to do it.
अरे
Jaws all by
Nice.
himself.
मेरे को लगा जी भाई
नाइस वन जी
मेरे को लगा वो जा को ट्रोल करेगा भाई नहीं किया पर
We head to Haven.
भाई अभी ये हेवन
2-13-10s in a row to come on through. This is what you
कमबैक था ना बे
योकम
मैटर वो
का
है
पूरा फाइट लिया
recovery moment for Global Esports as well. What feels
भाई वो योकम जो चालू हुआ ना एक समय पे फिर जो मारा भाई केली भाई
भाई मैं पर केलियस का एक बात पता है
सबका
अच्छा
7 है बे
उसने योकम को खुला साथ छोड़
हाँ।
दिया सीधा उनके स्पॉन
हो गया भाई वो एक समय पे
मेरे को क्या नहीं समझ रहा ना योका मोडटन को लाइक उन्होंने एक फ्रीली क्यों नहीं खेलने दिया पहले से लाइक वो बंदे
once again, by the way, brilliant
इसलिए तो केलियस को किया है ना क्योंकि केलियस को पता है यूरोडन को कैसे
कब छोड़ना भाई
isn't enough for NAOS, which
वही
means Uni, we are
क्रिस्टल
all
कैसे
square
क्रिस्टल
tied
बेटर
up
आइडिया
going
लेकिन
into Haven.
के
And
लिए इसको
remember,
पता है ड्यूलिस्ट को
folks,
कैसे
we
करवाना है
did
क्योंकि
see
सिंगल ड्यूलिस्ट है ना
Haven
वैसे भी
yesterday, and we did see how
7 फर्स्ट
strong
ब्लड तो
it
अपने
was
5 है भाई
for Global Esports.
अपने
कोई नहीं अपना
Yeah.
योकम तो हुआ
It was
एमवीपी
close.
That has been,
देख
yeah,
बे
it was close
MVP
yesterday on
फिक्स
Haven, and
तेरा सही
Naos
नहीं था पर इस
you know,
बार में
do
सही
have
है पर ठीक
you
है
know
नहीं
a
हाँ
good
ना
amount
लास्ट
of
टाइम तो
लास्ट
नहीं
मैप
था
हेवन है ना
do from yesterday's game that they had,
लास्ट टाइम का
Global
तेरा भी
Esports
तो
had, and given
योकम
that
था
you
बे
know
हाँ तो लेकिन
Naos
वो
themselves
पर
are
मैच
लूजिंग
था
टीम हुआ ना
playing
हाँ
Haven
तो इसलिए
against
कुछ
Rapid Lo-Fi,
कुछ तो
believing
इस
डिस्कशन
बार
हो रहा
इस
भाई
बार
in the
इंपॉर्टेंट
इस
quarterfinals
बार
in stage 3 of SEA.
क्रिस्टल के साथ करा
They
डिस्कशन में क्रिस्टल
did
मिड राउंडिंग
win
करता
that
पता है
game
ना
13 to
तुमको
6. So they've got a pretty solid neon comp as
वो बता
well
रहे क्या गलत
on
हुआ था
that,
क्या
you
नहीं
know, map of Haven. So
अबे
Global Esports
एक्चुअली
will
मिड
have to
राउंडिंग
tie
कर
their
रहा था
shoes
ना
a little bit more
पर
tighter
जी
than
के
they
एक
did
भी मिड
last
राउंडिंग
time around
सक्सेसफुल नहीं रहे
because
साले
there's going to be a storm coming their way, and
हाँ
I'm
नहीं
pretty sure that,
नहीं
you
बोल
know,
लेकिन
सकते
if at all,
भाई
maybe if they
वैसे
change
बोला
things
योकम
again,
का बहुत
if they're
बड़ा
going to put
इम्पैक्ट
Ja
था
on another
योकम
बहुत
different,
बड़ा
you know,
इम्पैक्ट है
केलियस
बहुत
और
ही ज्यादा
उडरन
this
का
time
भी
around,
हम्म
once
पापी
again,
वैसे तो पांचों का
I'm
है
पापी
not
का तो
too
क्लच
sure
याद है क्या
because that
पापी
is
का
only
भूल
going to
गए
give
क्या
us
क्लच
more
सबसे
entertainment
ज्यादा मेरे
watching
को
that
योकम
next
लगा
game. But
क्योंकि कैसे
Yeah,
हाँ
वो सीधा
this has
स्पॉन तो
been
घुस रहा था ये उनका
मेरे
मेंटेलिटी
को क्या लग रहा है
बहुत
बताओ
सीधा
ये मैच शायद
I'm
क्रिस्टल
looking
आइजल
towards
किया
what we saw last time on Haven for
पता
NAOS
नहीं
and Jar
आई
actually
डोंट
was playing
थिंक
the Omen, right? So it's
अरे
either going to be
लेकिन
something
मैं वही बोला
refreshing and
योकम
new
का
again
इम्पैक्ट
like
क्यों
this
था
map was, or it's going to
क्योंकि
be
उनको भी
going
थोड़ा सा
back to
उनकी
something that
मेंटेलिटी
they
पे
were
तोड़
already
रहा था
used to
सीधा
during the
घुस रहा
current
था
edition of the
इसलिए
map.
अबे
उनको थोड़ा
So I don't know.
ये
I
करना था
kind of feel like it's a
नहीं नहीं
little bit more
योकम का ठीक
50-50
है
going in towards this final map.
उसको आधे टाइम में
Well,
भी
we're going to
जमा
find
नहीं
out
गेम
pretty
या तो
soon,
उसको
aren't we?
डिफेंसिव
Because
गेम ज्यादा
और
जमा
we
है
do
और जो
have
उडरन के
Haven
बीच
coming
बीच में
up
नहीं
at the
2K
end of
3K
अबे
वो बहुत
एक्चुअली
अंडररेटेड है
you know,
हाँ
split
एक्चुअली
that
तो
we've
बी
got.
मतलब
रोटान तो
I
लाइक
was
हाँ
डिफेंस फर्स्ट था ना
expecting,
बे
and
जी
of
का
course,
कल
during
भी
the veto
हाँ
for,
हाँ हाँ
you
कल भी जी का डिफेंस
know,
फर्स्ट नहीं
Juby
था
to actually
मतलब
go
दे
for
हैव लाइक
Haven. I thought
डिफेंस
he was
काइंड
gonna,
ऑफ टीम
you
ही
know,
है
ban Haven
मेरे
and
को
go
तो
for
What do
वैसे
they
ही
gold at
look
the
लगता
like?
end.
मेरे
Yeah,
को
I
भी
would
आई
have
थिंक
liked, well, I
सनसेट
want
में
to
वो
watch
लोग
it. It's been
डिफेंस
a while
काइंड
since
ऑफ
I watched
टीम है
that
तो
match.
अरे
ऐसा भी हो
Been
सकता है
a
बाद में
fantastic
अटैकिंग में वो
season.
लोग दो
But
डुलिस
hey,
से खेल
we're
सकते
gonna
हैं
hopefully get to see it in the next couple
मैं
of days.
हजार
There's a lot
बोलूंगा
more
बे
teams to be
फिर भी
played.
ये बंदे
Right now, we're gonna
जेंजी वगैरह
focus
को
on
हराने लायक
what
नहीं खेल
NAOS
रहे
can bring onto the
हैं
table.
पता
Are they
है
gonna change stuff up once
वो मेरे
again?
को तो नहीं
Or is there
लगता
gonna be
चेंजेस
more
के टाइम
role
चेंज हो गए ना
changes
अभी
going into the third map? Because we did see
अबे
3
जेंजी की
players
टीम उल्टा
exchange up
और
roles
स्ट्रांग हो गई
from the
साले
previous to this
वो
one.
फॉक्सी ने
Could
आने
be
के
a
बाद तो
possibility
और
in the
गलत खेल रहे वो
next
लोग
one as well. And I'm just
इनका तो
really
देखा नहीं
excited
क्या
to see
मैचेस
what
अभी
is going to
डीआरएक्स
be
वगैरह
Global
का
Esports' game plan,
नहीं
considering
डीआरएक्स
what happened in the previous day.
टी1
How are they going to change things
टी1
up on
तक
Haven?
टफ लीड लग
Yeah.
रही है
I mean, I'm looking towards Eman at the moment as well, right? In the kind of lacking performance that we see him on this controller role, if he's going back on towards the breach, I feel like he's a little bit more fluid when he can get that out over on
चलो
towards
अब
Haven.
थर्ड मैप
But then again, you
क्या
know,
है
we are
अबे
to
हेवन
see who performed yesterday on Haven against Orangutan, right? It was the
आई
opening
थिंक
map. So I think
अभी आज
that
भी
actually
जी
has
वाले
something
देखना
to
यही
really
बोलेंगे
play for
देखना
as well. Map
पहला
number
मैच
one,
9
which was
साल
especially
बोलेंगे
pushing
वापस
capacity, was the close one. When they recognized what they needed to do, the second map was pretty flawless.
कितने मैचेस नर्व रहेंगे वे हर बार थोड़ी तुम
Now
लोग
it's a new
पहला
team.
मैच
They
का
got two
नर्व्स
maps
दिखाओ
with a good amount of
कल
rounds to
ठीक है कल
consider.
तो
When
ओरेंगुटन
we've got
मूवी थे
both of them ending
आई डोंट से
13 to 10, right? That's 23
ओरेंगुटन बहुत
rounds
अच्छी
per
थी
map. You're looking into some great tape that they can reflect in
पर
their
इनके
minds at the
खिलाफ
moment
खेलना
on,
पड़ेगा
all right, we know what worked for us
डेफिनेटली
yesterday on Haven, we know what didn't work, we know what we've already seen from NAOS and what
कल
they
किसके
have
साथ रहेगा
all
मैच
this sort of stuff. So it is kind of, you know, reflecting right now for us that everybody we know what our strengths are, we know what our weaknesses
आ
are.
सकते
Let's play towards them coming onto map number 3. And if you've got a new strategy to come out with,
वो तो दोस्त है
Global
जी
Esports, it's the time to do it. For now, I mean, let's see something new, I guess, if you want to, but I would personally like to see their old agent pool shine through again.
Well, we're going to find out at the end of this little short break, ladies and gentlemen. The players are just going to take a little bit of water break, and so are we. We'll be right back with Haven to see who's going to end up at the end as the winner.
थोड़ा ब्रेक देंगे
चलो भाई एक डेथ मैच खेलते हैं भाई.
Match found. Death match. Warm up.
भाई
Twitchy here. Let's go already.
Fight.
Let's go.
10 kills remaining.
Triple, baby.
Dominating. Five kills remaining.
Dead.
One kill remaining.
Maneuver for your plays, right? Every time you went and grabbed a little bit of a aggressive control towards B main or A main, they would instantly find themselves in your spawn at times, and they were taking market control at times as well. Was that a
शुरू हो
call
गया
from
भाई,
you
शुरू
during
हो
the
गया.
timeout where you were kind of simulating, okay, they're gonna be taking this control, we're okay relinquishing that, or was it something that the team decided to understand that we're gonna take space that they leave instantly and it's okay even if they are in our spawn? What was the time? What was the things happening in that timeout? If you give us a little insight up with that.
No, I mean the reality is that's the first time I've really seen a team consistently react that way. Most teams don't react that way. They might go to the other site, but very rarely do they end up in your spawn. 6 rounds and a half. So it's definitely a unique look for us, and it's something that we had to adjust to. But we came with the dub. Again, I don't care how we win as long as we win.
Yeah, I mean, one of the really cool adjustments for you guys at the later stages on that defensive side was the retakes, right? You had the right opportunity and positions, you had the right retake utility really prevailing in the end there. So I'm kind of wondering, I guess, a two-layered question here. Number one, did you expect Jar to be coming out with the ISO? And number two, those retakes that you guys are coming out with, they're at the back of sight time and time again. How did the team kind of feel about having to change those retakes in the end?
Yeah, I mean it's just an adjustment you have to make, man. That's part of the thing we're trying to teach them. It's part of the thing we're trying to practice with is just being able to make adjustments. So that I can't be able to talk every single time. You know what I mean? So we have to be able to make those adjustments mid-game, and that's something that we're gonna keep working on, keep focusing on, and yeah, man. At the end of the day, by the end of the season, I want that to be one of our strengths is that we can adapt to anything another team does and have an answer quickly without waiting for a timeout.
Yeah, well, we're heading into Haven now. They've played double duelists so far in both the maps. They did bring out the ISO. Are you expecting a double duelist to come in to even this map from them? Because they played the default comp pretty much the last couple of times, but they could throw a curveball. Do you expect them to throw a curveball towards you?
I expect them to put Jaw on ISO again. That's what I expect. So we'll probably see the Fnatic comp. Honestly, that's what I expect.
All right, okay, all the best to you, Juvi. You've got another map. Hopefully you can secure the dub with this one. We'll see you at the end of the third one. Bye-bye.
Thanks, boys.
Yeah, well, he feels
Fnatic comp, huh? Fnatic comp.
Yeah, Fnatic comp. We did mention it, and I honestly, I like it, man. I would love to see Ja once again on the ISO. He's been giving us the highlight reels pretty much live, and Mosier has been supporting him. Although, do you feel like Mosier could play that Yoru, or will he be sticking to the Neon, if at all, they go for that confidence?
I don't know. His Neon was a little bit disappointing on Sunset, so I think if you want to change it up and get a little bit of extra comfort and change it, and you've got, you know, no immediate pressure in this sort of game coming forward, I think maybe sure, why not throw it on the Yoru? Let's just do it.
Yeah, I guess let's just go ahead find out. You know, what's the draft?
क्या हो गया भाई, पूरे बंदे शांत हो गए, एजेंट सेलेक्ट हो गया भाई.
And we've got okay, just change the name, but that's all right, no problem. We've got, I think, yeah, there
भाई
it is. Okay.
लियोन
They're
भी
going
है,
for the Fnatic.
Yeah,
भाई
they're doing it.
ईजो भी है, योरू
Yeah,
भी.
he said it, and they're picking it up, no problem there. And Global Esports going to be sticking to what they know best, as NAOS really
वही
feeling
बोल तो रहे थे
comfortable
ना,
on that double duelist, it seems, as we
मैंने अपना
continue further
अपना
हांगकांग
on
सर्वर में खेलना.
to another map
मैं बोला ना
of
हांगकांग खेलेंगे.
constant aggression being at least in the game plan for NAOS. But once again,
हांगकांग
is
मतलब
this-
चाइना का
is
सर्वर
this
होगा ना वो.
going to be
नहीं, चाइना और
something that
हांगकांग
they
अलग है,
play
मतलब
चाइना
like
नहीं.
कोरिया
Fnatic,
और
or is it gonna be
चाइना
something
के
like
बीच में आता है
Sunset
वो
S, where if at all Global Esports, you know, try and take aggressive A, are they going to try and push them towards B to maybe force up A link, make them feel uncomfortable? Because if a similar game plan is coming in from Sunset, Haven is a map where using that kind of
No, थोड़ा
positioning,
चाइना
where
के
you
अंदर
get
बोलते
into
हैं
the enemy's
अलग है.
region of spawn, is actually a
उडोटन
lot more useful
ए
than
पे
defensive,
सेटअप
because
कर रहा.
how big and, you know, how much variety of you know, movement you have on this map.
Yeah, I mean, to answer your first question that you say a little bit earlier, are they going to be able to play it like Fnatic? I think it's always going to be one of those things where Fnatic
Maybe
is a
अगर
team
Chinese
that
team के
is
आए तो
always
उनको
tried
भी
to be emulated. You know, they're one of these
हांगकांग में
top
कर
teams
सकते हैं.
for a reason. But you also have to consider that Durka on that Yoru, he finds so much space and so much impact for like
पर
for you to get those
जुवेनल ने
kills,
रेड किया भाई
right?
कि वो
So I'm
लेके
looking towards this
कॉम.
one, and I'm considering.
तो मेरे को लगता है
Are we going to see
भाई
the same sort of
देखते
consistency and ability from
See
Moja
for
and,
whatever.
and from Jar on these agents? C and Garage splits are pivotal of ability in a map like this. And they're already holding W through a smoke
I-
a different way.
क्या
Like,
पुश किया भाई.
what can you
पहला
do?
राउंड.
Yeah. Nexi's gonna hold on for as long as he possibly can on the back of site there. As,
वॉल रन में फ्लैश था गुस्सा से.
forgive me, back of outside of garage, as he's gonna wait for Global Esports to make their move. But
Okay.
towards this
बहुत बढ़िया प्लान भाई.
No, it's gonna be
वुमेन मर जाता था ना उधर, हो जाता था.
as NAOS go for that
शावी
aggression once again.
क्योंकि
They're not
शावी ने मार
afraid
दिया
of
भाई.
holding the front
Forget
lines.
it.
Something that they should have considered
पर
on
ये क्या
Sunset
करेंगे,
as
अटैकिंग
well.
में
But
ज़्यादा से
there's
ज़्यादा
maybe
राउंड
I
निकालने
can
का ट्राई
see them
करेंगे.
treating this Haven C site as something that they did for the Sunset.
उसको पढ़ा
Bay,
ना,
right?
लेकिन
Like
वॉल
it's
तो
हाँ,
Sunset Bay,
पढ़ा
they
नहीं
go for the
पढ़ा, but
market
मारा
hit,
नहीं.
they want to go aggressive from
वही
the
उधर
site
वुमेन
itself
मारता था ना,
instead of
राउंड
taking it
निकलता था.
directly from mid
हाँ.
region. So I feel like it's gonna be interesting about how they treat this Haven C site similar to that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's a pistol round gathered by NAOS, right? So if you're looking for differences, you are really looking for your rotation timing, I guess you say for NAOS, right? But you flip it on over to Global, and I'm kind of
सी रिटेक पे छोड़ दे.
what
सी
differences
भी
are
कास्टर
they
का आवाज कम आ
doing
रहा है ना?
here
हाँ.
compared to yesterday, right? 'Cause you saw firsthand, Uni,
पहले ज्यादा
Yeah,
रहा
I was
था.
what-
the sloppiness,
Wait.
right, I guess I'll say, for how Global were playing against the Orangutan, right? Who running around the map a little bit for themselves as well. In towards this one, right? It's early. It's early.
At least A push करके और बार लेने को ना.
Towards A. So you'll give this one, but come gun rounds, right? Are we seeing more aggression from Patrick? Are we seeing more setups to come through from Kalias? Like, these are the questions that I'm going to be asking to really see how are you putting your player on the top pedestal, who's already nearing 50 kills for your team this best of 3.
Go, go, go.
Well, once again, we go on that eco, and Global Esports in this series have been pretty good on these rounds. As
No.
Deep Smoke comes in to try and let them get out of here. Ja initiates
Mar
his
jayega.
shield
Mar
as
jayega.
Xavi 8K tries to get a kill. The stun is perfect. Both of them struggling, but 2 bullets at the same time better than 1. Yotan
boy.
finds 1, makes it a double. Moser comes into the trade.
Huh?
The paranoia is too
कुछ
good.
भी
He
मारा
knocks
बे
them
वो
all down.
स्पैम में.
But the damage done by Global Esports is pretty significant.
हाँ, और एक मार दिया ना.
drops here. Emin gonna try and run away with that Vandal, but he's gonna be allowed to. Yeah, he's gonna be allowed to. Yokum had to die to the spike there, as the Vandal will be saved at the last
इनके प्लेयर
second.
स्टार्टिंग में हंसते हैं, बाद में नहीं हंसते.
Now it's gonna be
Wait.
getting away with a scare there, honestly.
औकात दिख जाती बाद में.
Yeah, close to the end as well, right? Lots of kills to come through. It does look awkward. I saw that undercard go through, and I'm
भारती
thinking,
नहीं
oh,
यार.
yeah, pistols, you know, 1 or 2
No,
shots,
no.
they're dead, they're
माइक बंद करके
vulnerable.
बैठे
No, it looks a little bit more awkward to come on through, but Moja stabilizes, and
मैं
now
तो गया
Uni,
पानी में
important
था.
one. Kills collected
अरे मैं
early
डेथ
on
मैच खेला.
means more
अच्छा
vulnerability
स्ट्रीम पे
because of
डेथ
all
मैच
of
खेला
those
मैं भी.
light shields on the side of
अच्छा ही
NAOS,
चल रहा
but
था
more
गेम.
importantly, more strength
सोच रहा मैं
because of
स्ट्रीम
your
करने का
global
बाद
just
में.
on weapons,
मैं मर मत उड़ो कान भाई.
an early
अरे नेट टूटा,
information
ट्रिप नहीं
where
टूटा.
now you got to be a little
अच्छा
bit more
वो के
cautious if
क्लोन
you're
से टूट
playing
गया.
yourself as Udotan.
ठीक है ना अच्छे
At least you're still getting trapped by it currently that wasn't destroyed by that shocky.
Found you. Oh, the tripwires allowed him to get in. Mosier, he's got an incision point here.
वो साइड छोड़ दिया पूरा.
It's dangerous, and he does. He gets away with it as well. All the
अच्छा
way
ए जा
back
रहे हो लोग.
towards A. He goes,
एक
and
टावर.
instantly
was
the
I-
trajectory has
take
changed.
tower.
And now on the back of Mosier's ultimate now, thanks to that kill, will find the A side for themselves, which is completely, by the way, empty. A great sell
That's
from Mosier
unbelievable.
alone on that
Yeah.
C side.
That's actually huge. The fact that he does pick up Dimensional Drift on the back of that kill actually means that they can full pivot and full path into this A side to establish an open home plant with a one-way. You
Bye,
have
bye,
to
bye.
go quick as global.
Yeah, you have right. They're going in as well. Nothing gets too
No,
crazy
no, no.
there, but now it's doing that bit as well.
क्या हुआ भाई?
Chaos, a lot of stuff happening
क्या
through walls and through smokes. But in the end, it's going to be NAOS coming back on top. Global Esports
क्या
start
हुआ
off on
भाई?
Haven once again with a little bit of uncomfortability. But this
गलत
kill,
उठाया
man,
भाई
was
वो तो टाइम पे उसने.
everything for NAOS to win that
Yeah.
round.
अभी नहीं हुआ अच्छा
पापी क्या गुस्सा.
I mean, I'm thinking about
हाँ.
the differences if
Yokom
Udotan
से पहले
finds
वो
that
गुस्सा
kill.
है.
पापी
as
गया
well,
वही
right?
वही.
You put a stopper on any C progression. Kazavi still falls back in that scenario to assist with the rest of the team. Now changing course over towards A. You don't have the clearance factor of the whole side as well. You don't have the rotation coming through from Global.
ये टीम भी शायद असेंशन में ठीक ठाक गई थी ना आगे तक.
Happening and they're not, and then
नहीं.
they pay post.
पहले
So
मैच हार
really,
गई
that
फुल
first
से
kill in the
सेकंड
round
फिर एक
kind of
जीती
sets the scene
और
for the
next
whole
में
remainder
हार
of the
गई
round,
हार
and
गए
we're
फिर
back on the
Hmm,
foot.
Revenant
Global
decision.
Esports, where they lean towards this
Lower
alpha
bracket में
side
पहले
yet again. They do take a bit of
फिर
space, granted, deep up through long.
रिडल ने
It's
किया
still
बाहर
safeguarded by that deep
इसमें
trap
पापी
fire,
चलो था ना पर.
and poor, unfortunate Udotan
हाँ.
again is in a 1 versus X scenario by his lones
वही.
himself. Good for a bit of
अरे
chip
लो था
damage, yeah,
वो.
for sure,
यार.
but still
Spike
there's
planted.
life.
Yeah, and now I'm pretty sure Patrick's going to be taken out here as well. Yeah, you can go down. Another one.
Okay.
No, Philly's going to be finding that trade.
इसको मार
They
दिया
have
ना,
a handle
खत्म है
for
भाई.
John. Activates that shield. Instantly taken out. The double tap's going to be still available to him if he finds a kill, that is. He's can see to find it, but he's going to let his opponents come
bait
to him. He's
करेगा
going
वो
to do
भी.
all the baiting work for him now. They're going to peek on the back of that counter. Flash, and then come through. Ja's going to get one. Emin's going to follow it up. And Ja, just a one more frag, and he's going to secure the round. Number 4. Pretty simple for NAOS. Not too much loss. Just a one man. And Global
Yeah,
Esports
इतना में हो गए
now
उनकी.
have a buy, but this is going to be a very important
Off
buy
दिखा
for
मेरे
them to
को.
win.
Yeah. Bit of a
What's up,
leak
yeah?
over at this seaside at the moment as well, isn't there? Udotan's utility just completely disrespected by shock bolts and by fake outs too. So I'm considering adjustment period is in order for Global Esports in that little scenario.
Time out
Maybe a
like
bit
that.
of deeper utility. Maybe you play bodies a little bit closer.
शायद.
You know, there's no Neon that's running in against you, right? There's still forward pathing from these players. If we're not seeing Moja,
बैन मतलब ये थोड़ी राइट का गेम है.
kind of can set yourself up for holding strong angles around the site. And you have to have this very real discussion. These are the sort of early
हाँ वो समझ रहा हूँ.
will set you up for
नहीं नहीं बट वो टाइम आउट लेके दे रहा कर रहा होगा.
utility. You're expecting them to hit C.
शायद
and they
टाइम आउट आया
immediately
था.
don't. It's another fake that comes
मुझे लगता है ना
through.
वो देखो ना पॉज होके ना पॉज होके ना
Very
होगा.
large importance
बूम और
right now
एसपीजी
and a good
मुझे लगता है वीसीटी का
discussion and decision
चाइनीज में
to be
से
made
एक
for Global
एसपी
Esports.
एक्सपीजी
They've
रहेगा
found some success
हाँ
creeping
हाँ
up through
it's-
A, right? Are they going to try
और
and get an
दूसरा-
योकम
operator
ऑफ
on
लिया.
the A line? Or are
बोला
they
ना
going
ऑफ
to put
दिखा मेरे
Patrick
को
over
कहीं
at
तो.
the C line potentially? These are the
योकम लिया
things that
क्या?
you're kind of
हाँ,
और कौन
ramping
करेगा?
in your head, and I'm looking at the radar now, Uni, and I'm seeing positionally.
मुझे लगता है
We're
ना
gonna get the
इन
Neon
फ्यूचर उडोटन
operator
को
peak
एक
down
सेकेंडरी
through
ड्यूलिस्ट
sewers,
खिलवाएंगे
potentially Crystal sets him up with
तो
Big
उडोटन को
Star,
ना.
and they change it up where they have a little bit
वो
more
मेरे को भी लग रहा है
bodies
कि वो
open
दो
up.
ड्यूलिस्ट का वगैरह गिरा
नहीं
सकते.
Yeah,
मतलब क्योंकि
it
लिवाइथन में
could
देखो
be a bit
एसपास
of
के साथ
troublesome
सेकंड
for
ड्यूलिस्ट नहीं
them,
खिलवाते
because look
थे
at NAOS, the entire team right
जुवेनल
now
का ये
gonna
नहीं
be
है वो
aggressing on towards A, and the cage is going to protect him. The camera's going to push him off as
Pop,
well.
pop, pop, pop.
Ja has been reconned. He's going to get away from
पता है बे
John
ऑफ.
right
पीछे जाना
now,
पड़ेगा इसको
and he knows that the op's here now. They know they gotta play safe. They're gonna do everything. The undercut, the paranoia, everything comes through. Chavi's entered the site. They push the up behind, and Mojer.
Mojer भी बचा भाई.
He does not push any further.
खेल को
Weapons
दिया.
being exchanged. Double tap activated, but he's going a little too far. The one way wasn't necessary to do there.
भाई
One after the other.
क्या मार रहा भाई.
Global
सही. बड़े मारे.
जैसे किल दे रहे हैं
हाँ.
He went a little too deep.
अंधी घुस रहे हो. हुकम तो अंधी घुस रहा पूरा.
तो सीधा
हम्म.
मिनट के अंदर ही राउंड खत्म
ये बट योकप ने बढ़िया मारा. मेरे को लगा वो ये मारेगा क्या नाम है.
नहीं उड़न मारा
उडोटन ने बराबर सॉरी उडोटन ने बराबर मारा वही. मेरे को लगा योकप मारेगा.
योकम ने 2 मारे
हाँ 2 मारे. योरो को भी मारा. वो योरो को तो बढ़िया मारा भाई. दिखा भी नहीं मेरे को. फट्टा से.
And the kills are being collected for him and the squad.
उनकी कैसे देखो 2 डिविजन
On the
2
board,
फ्रैगर हो
it
रहे
resets
इधर एक
itself
ही है ना
mentally,
बाकियों को
physically into
टीम
the
वर्क खेलना
server,
पड़ रहा है
But I look
वही.
towards the ultimate lineup on the side of NAOS and I think, uh-oh, Hunter's Fury still available.
ओपी है ना.
You've got, Nexi as well available with the neural theft, but more importantly, mate, you've got Jar with the kill contract.
Yeah, I think he's gonna go for it right now.
किसको है
Yeah, there he
Kelly.
goes. He's picked up somebody, and it's
अरे
gonna
गन
be
नहीं है.
Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly.
He's got the shield as well. He
गन
went
था ना
that
उस पे?
duel, and that's a free kill for him. Instantly, Patrick, he activates the other side of the map, but he's gonna lose that fight. And Global Esports losing members on every part of Haven right now. Poppy gets
Trading
it,
to
taken
Carrera.
out, and that's gonna leave the one and only Crystal alone on the A side. And I'm pretty sure he's not far away from
ऑफ
being
लेगा
one.
वो. होगा.
A little bit confused for a couple of members on Global there. You know inside that you want to try and get the kill. You want to find the space for more
last में लेगा,
impact
अभी
in the
नहीं.
team. When you lose a kill or two at the very
push कर
beginning,
सकते हैं.
you lose the Gulag 1v1
ये क्या?
fight. You lose your lightning gun.
साइफर को साइफर
as well,
से
right? These
उसका
two
फाइट हो भी
ultimates
सकता.
that are both, one for each side, resulting in great strength.
अब वो hunt करेगा उसको.
I mean,
आएगा
you
ना.
see the neural
योरो
theft go
देखो.
down, and you're always going to understand from Yudo time, I want to get in to garage, I
Right,
want to
that
find
way.
some space, I want to try and get a pick
एक स्कोप
and get
पर
out,
किया तो आवाज आएगा.
bring this round back
भी
into a
पैर को बैठा.
workable scenario.
पैर को बैठा ना
And
इसके.
it
हाँ,
does
पैर को
happen
बैठा.
at the end. Crystal only good for 1 on the escape, by the way. So far for now, this half has gone swimmingly.
Yeah, pretty smooth. They've been, really great with the utilization of that, kill contract. They know exactly, how to move in the minute they know that, okay, you know what? One player has gone out of the site. We have to rush in as soon as possible, even before, even if Ja loses that fight. But I think the big problem that ended up happening was Patrick's kind of impatience to kind of, activate that overdrive and move in from the A main side. And he lost his life there as well.
He got caged off.
Exactly. So that was a problem. Now they're aggressing on C to get a little bit of information and close out this part of the map because now they've been abusing it every single round. Ja holds it down and Global Esports with a deep smoke. Not too much control, but they have numbers.
Yeah, but the problem is, look at the utility. You still got the shield. A lot of it is peppered on through, but the bullets at the moment, they're training in crossfires. Swift past the eyebrows, but it doesn't really matter for Global Esports at the moment. That's not the target that you want to be hitting. Yudo-tan and Mun to dispatch of you. And now it's all on to the Crystal man. And once again, unfortunately, where are my friends? They are gone.
They're gone.
Save simulator.
They've got the rolling thunder now.
आपका आवाज बहुत कम आ
There
रहा
could be a little
अब
bit
जा
of
रहा है?
retake
हाँ.
gameplay that could have helped them honestly because of the pace.
मोबाइल में हो गया?
पुराना हो गया.
Constantly abusing
नहीं, नहीं.
that C site. I feel like
हेडफोन पुराना हो गया है अभी.
really effective tool for them to kind of just push them out of
Hyper
the site,
X.
take good fights, set up, Patrick in
अभी.
good positions with that ultimate and the
पाँच से
utility
ट्रैप
that,
ट्रिप देख रहा
Global
देखो.
Esports can provide as
WhatsApp
well. But it's all going to be a question if or not Global Esports are going to actually, continue on that path of, aggression on that C side or not. What do you think about it?
Yeah.
Should they play a little bit safer now that they've got, I mean, it is an
Lotus
eco,
चाहिए
but
तेरे फिर
I'm
यो
talking
कम
about
दिखा
the
था.
neon.
उनको नहीं
Well, the problem is just individually, the kills aren't being collected.
अब
for
यार
Global.
रबी
It doesn't really matter as a
नियॉन
team
नर्फ होगा
at the
फिर
moment,
क्या
right?
होगा?
It's just the
जेट
isolation
लगा,
of a
जेट भी
couple of
अच्छे
these
उसका.
global members.
वो
and
तो अच्छा है वो पता है वो.
scaling of utility that now are throwing their way, changing it up from this C utility dump pressure, from this dry peaks coming on through. Now you're staring against dimensional drift, right? You still got that Hunter's Fury if they get pinged out. General combo that comes on through.
Try him up here.
Set of utility to come out. And the kills are there. Finally won by Kelly, but it's exactly what I see. It's like magic. You've read the script. Dimensional drift, ping out an opponent, distract them out with the goo on the screen, and Hunter's Fury comes on through, and things just crumble for Global.
Yeah, Crystal will find the one trade, and that's going to be it. It's still a 3 versus 2. It is actually doable. They've got 2 weapons now. And even though the drones are currently being exchanged, they've spotted one player. They know that Patrick has got a lot of utility. Recon's gone out. Stun comes through. He's missed that opportunity to take that knock down. He's to slide out. No, he couldn't. He should have slid out there. It's going to be Xavi once again, standing alone on site, making sure he is going to be the first and last line of defense. 7-1 now. It's getting scary.
I want to highlight for those that might have missed the game yesterday, the Haven result for Global Esports. They found 8 rounds on their defensive side. And you know, that was the closeout for the series, right? They had 5 attacking rounds. The half was 5-7 by math. It's always scary to do math in broadcast, but we're there. It's now 7 for NAOS on this attacking side. So literally anything extra is massive of change.
Yep.
And we do have guns, at least for Global here, 2 light shields, but it's, you know, just the pace changes once again. For now, back towards C, not seeing any contest from any members there. They'll break
I think Swana idea उनको trap लगाया ना Cypher ने.
It have a very quick flank and a player advantage.
भाई वो मार रहा है.
And that's going to call him Patrick's on the flank. Just not ready for Patrick! What have you done, Patrick? How? Patrick, how? Kelly does have the ultimate, and now that ultimate might end up going far away, so unless, of course, he executes it. Yes, he will. Find the player up close. He was a little too late. Expected it, but just the movement was a little too well. Emin has to go back. He's going to wait for Ja to come on from the other side. It's going to be clear. Raining shots from him. Only the one, though, for Ja. It's going to be Emin to clutch it out, but Poppy stands strong. Second for Global. I think they've heard you. 7 should be the max that they need to give away on this defensive side.
Yeah, I'm looking at the end there as well, right? And when you've got a player that has a lot of hours, like Parpy on an Omen, for example, using this scenario, when you've got Eman coming through on that.
अरे नहीं वो मरता था अगर आइसो का उसका वो रहता नहीं था ना.
I'm thinking to myself,
आइसो का शील्ड.
Tickle the tootsies of one of the guys there, but they end up.
अब वही हेड पे मार के फायदा ही नहीं ना. वो शील्ड है भाई.
So it's just these little individual characteristics on these certain agents when you're not too familiar with them. That I'm seeing for now, so they need to pick on up. But for Global Esports, a golf clap for getting that retake in as well, right? From the beginning kill that they get in the window, from the last one at the end there to get now for the hopeful opening, which they
push करना ही चाहिए. Crystal का पोजीशन पता है उसको.
Kill there from Patrick, secures the A main side completely, and there goes an ultimate looking for him and found himself, and he was just not ready to expect Kelly as they're coming in that late.
बेट करेगा. आप ही बेट करेगा. भाई वो कम मतलब. बेट का मारी भाई.
But Xavi, he gets both of them back from the grave. What the hell is that? That shouldn't have been possible at all. And of course, Ja heads up on a rotating crystal. That's opened up the C site. And now it turns away from Global Esports once again. 5v3. As it just was.
भाई का टाइमिंग है बे.
Please.
Revealing area.
Another scenario for Global Esports where it's a 1vx here, Uni, but this time it's not Crystal. It is Kelly S, and he will be giving it a bit of a crack. Nothing away from the utility at the moment, but a plant for backside. You hear what Sova's over towards there, but you don't know where the remaining 2 are. It really does just come down to trying to bait it out. And I mean, I'm even looking at the contingency that you've got over on the side of NAOS. You know, ignore the ISO for that matter. You've got a Harness Fury, right? That is your contingency in this round. Not even needed.
Yeah, perfect works right now from NAOS. Even though they lose a couple of players early on, such good control from Global Esports, but they just give it away almost, it felt like. Xavi just kind of peeked them for free, and he got 2 kills like it was nothing. Even this, I'm not sure how. Patrick should have actually used that bait, to be fair. I feel like he could have been set up for 2 there if he just let them cross by.
when I see the scenario of a 5 versus 3 and you've got 2 players still pushed up through A long, I'm immediately kind of considering a dark cover at the top of A and get out of dodge, right? You're playing towards the numbers there. You're expecting utility to be used back for NAOS to get in towards the site. That's mainstream ways to get,
Wait for
that round to transition into a phase.
Short,
They
okay.
say they're welcome, and now they have to dig deep in a round such as this on an eco to try and, make it not a 10 to 2 half, not a 9 to 3 half.
Kind of feels like it might, kind of trickle into that tangent because right now, Global Esports have stuck their
Hello,
gut
hello.
off, sticking outside
hello.
that C site.
चालू है क्या मैच?
All four
हाँ,
are here. Just the
बहुत
one
बेकार हो
player
गया ये
hoping that
2 है
nobody
भाई
flanks them from
जी
deep.
2 है
As
क्या
now
बात
just
कर रहा कौन सा?
quietly find their space
Evan.
in
Evan,
the
Evan.
B site.
क्या खेल रहा है?
Scanning ahead.
वही टीम है कल वाली
Too much B-side endeavors of eventual
अच्छा
playing
हेवन
towards
खेले थे
Barfili,
इन्होंने।
but if they manage to do so, I kind of
एक
feel like
पापी का
it would give
पोजीशन अच्छा है
a little bit of an incentive for Patrick to maybe even use the overdrive.
हाँ आ गया फिर से।
Well, you called it. There he goes. He's gotten the first, and now there's 3 more to go. Just preemptively making sure nobody's coming in through that smoke so that he can find a free kill if at all possible. There's a stun that comes through.
हाँ ये खतरनाक देता है
पापी
उससे।
निकाल रहा पापी निकाल
And
रहा
once
लगा
again, it's the overdrive.
योकम निकल रहा है।
योकम है बे।
सारी योकम
He's gonna make it work all the way.
खतरनाक है बे उसका
हाँ,
भाई।
ये-
Absolutely
उसका अल्ट
demolished
अबे
them.
सबसे मेरे को अभी तक उसका अल्ट बहुत कितना ही क्रूशियल राउंड निकाला उसका अल्ट से
Who would win?
मेरे को लग रहा है नियॉन मेन
Fully
बनता है कि क्या?
equipped gun
तो वो नियॉन मेन ही तो है।
utility boys or
नर्फ
one
करने वाला भी देखते
नहीं तो
zippy zappy girl. That is
लेकिन नियॉन अल्ट का नर्फ से क्या लेना देना मेरे को वो समझता है क्योंकि देखो गन का एक्यूरेसी है बट अल्ट का कुछ नहीं ना अल्ट का पहले से ही वैसे
कर सकते हैं ना।
I'm pretty sure
ऑलरेडी पहले किए से कर डैमेज का
Neon nerf
पता चला रेज मिटा गया फिर से।
I mean, of course, G fans would love to see this being exploited, but remember, guys,
बे भाई हक दिया था उसने।
when it, it's
Yeah,
great
they
when
can,
it's for
they
your
can.
team.
से तो वो भी है
It's great when it's for
ये
your
NAOS
team.
का
But
time
when
होता है
you
ना।
see, maybe you see
ठीक
Dev
को राउंड हार गए ना
he's doing this to you guys, then you're gonna be like, oh my god, can we just get this
नहीं वो
exit
बता
out
रहा
of
हूँ उसका अल्ट है तो कैसा करने का
Yeah,
शायद।
legitimately, Dumbie's
Dumby-
experience on Neon and showcase over at Ascension was probably the,
हाँ वो तो मार तो
the
बहुत रहे।
decisive blow to Riot.
पिछला मैच भी मार रहे थे पर भाई योकम बाद में अलग ही मारने लगा था
A
एंड में
little bit overpowered. But you still at the end of the
पिछला
day
मैच तो
have
देखा
to be
ब्रह्मा
able
में
to
आया
put
था
your
वो
mouse at the
उनका
right
कमबैक
spot,
हुआ था ना
right? You
हाँ
have to
कमबैक
6-10 से पूरा एकदम
वही
done well towards
खतरनाक
trying
कमबैक
to
किया
bring a sense of recovery in towards the server at the moment. But, I mean, there's still death by 1,000 cuts for
एक
the
की
team.
आवाज
A lot
नहीं आ
of
रही
losing
किधर गया?
on this defensive side
कौन
right
कौन
now, and there's not enough
एक की आवाज नहीं आ रही बोला किधर गया?
bleeding.
अच्छा
Though I
वो
will
पता
add,
नहीं भारती ना म्यूट हो
मैं
गया
नाम लेने को मना कहा है ना
yes,
इसलिए
it's
नाम
still
नहीं ले रहा।
possible for NAOS to
कौन बोला
take
मना
it
कौन
apart.
मना कौन किया
But there's an 8 to 4 that
शायद
Global
पहले मैच
get.
में बोला था ना नाम लेने से मजा किया है ना
are gonna
मैं
try
क्या फिनिशियल मत
extremely
लगे।
hard
अरे
for
वो
that.
एक
They
प्लेयर
do
को बोल रहा था
have
इसलिए उसका बोला।
two ultimates right now.
अच्छा उसका बोला था क्या?
They could have used one as well to,
अरे
kind
मेरे
of control. A side has been given away
मेरे को
from
लगा कि उसकी बात।
NAOS as they once again find their footsteps treading towards that C site. Slowly creep up with two of the
लेकिन
teammates.
एग्रेसिव खेल रहा है
हाँ
जी
वो जी वो
वो तो एग्रेसिव है लेकिन
पेपर
वो
जैसे खेल रहे हैं ना
जी
थोड़ा
Defense
बहुत
pretty quickly.
वो हम बोल रहे
नहीं
थे
पेपर एक्स नहीं बोल सकते थे पेपर एक्स डबल डोरिस रहता तो मजा आती है लेकिन
हाँ,
योकम
वो
पूरी कमी दूर कर रहा पता क्या डोरिस की
हाँ
मतलब लगने नहीं दे रहा कि डबल डोरिस की जरूरत है।
उसने मार दिया वो टर्न भी मार दिया
Loses,
एक फोर चलो शायद
It's going to be
शायद
another 5 versus 3 that they now have to stay off.
क्रिस्टल ने नहीं दिखाया ना आपका गेम प्ले बाकी सबने दिखा लिया शायद अपना अपना।
क्रिस्टल ने लिया था ना जो क्लच
अच्छा एक लिया था क्या? नहीं मैंने पापे आपी का देखा क्रूशियल क्लच क्रिस्टल का देखने का।
क्रिस्टल ने वो सिर्फ से आज क्लच किया था ना स्प्लिट में
ओ भाई
हो जाएगा
ओ
नहीं हुआ
भाई नहीं हुआ 0.03
3 सेकंड अबे वो थोड़ा फ्री ट्वीट दिखाना था पे ऊपर नीचे
उसका स्पैम भी बराबर लगा भाई
अभी तो टैगो के दाना स्पैम नहीं मारा उसने टैगो
कर सुनो कौन को
अभी इनका डिफेंडिंग है ना
ऊपर से टिकेंगे केवल
And you don't get the round. 0.03, man.
क्लासिक निकाल देता था शायद जीत जाती थी जी तो क्लासिक में 2 गोली लगते जाएगी
Yeah, he used
He's
it
hatless.
as well, yeah.
boy, just look at
देखो उसका ये ओके था
उस छोड़ा काय को भाई डिफ्यूज वो डिफ्यूज
नहीं,
छोड़ा
वो तो-
देखा क्या
वो टाइम हो गया था ना हाँ इजी स्पैम था
to re-equip the gun and get the single tap. That is
अनलकी था लेकिन मतलब
insane.
वो
I can already
0.3
see
बोले तो बहुत हो
Global
गया
Esports flash
0.03
section final
0.03
अटका गया
नहीं मैं 0.033 हाँ वही कुछ था
Now it's gonna continue on their stride.
तो वो तो टन मारा भाई
ये तुम्हारा अटक रहा क्या
नहीं वो
नहीं उस टीम हो रहा है
Yeah, opening kill over towards NAOS as well.
Kai?
I will add, causing some positions to be noted down deep in mid. as
देखा वो
well.
देखा
Jump has been spotted out at the front.
क्या हो गया
नहीं भाई
तू जा रहा है क्या
Blinded, stunned, at the same time. Nexi does get
अरे अरे
भाई 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 कोशिश कर दी
Kelly almost
Uh-huh.
taken out
ये
there.
जा
but
रहा
Global Esports will instantly on the back of that kill travel
Kelly 10 HP है
to the A side and make sure that's where they get the spike down to the ground.
पापी यार पापी पापी स्टन स्टन
75 नो फॉर
मारना
I'm pretty lucky that Poppy's not decided to spam into that.
Cover, though, there's gap together as a team. Comparable HP at the beginning of
Those
this
are
one.
bad.
Emma, he has the betterment of it. In the look at uni at that
पापी को निकालना था
Romans had the HP. It was
Alman
the other
still
guys
there.
that did not. And for Emma,
अबे यार
that
निकल निकल
one
गया
down. I like the assault onto B. Don't get me wrong from Global. I'm just surprised that they actually did decide to go back over to the trade. The fact that Major gets Crystal, if it does go the other way, the round probably does look different. The round probably does go towards Global. And I'm exactly on par with what you're saying as well. I'm surprised that
चलो यो
Park
के
didn't
पास
trade
बकी
the fault line goes through and then jumping in it.
थोड़ा
Yeah, he
फोर्स
was
किया
here
नहीं क्या
jumping
थोड़ा सा
quickly,
फोर्स
letting
किया
you know
स्ट्रिंगल
would have helped, but now
भाई
make
गया
the best use of that situation. They get the air advantage.
बस संभाला लग रहा
Instantly he's gone. He's
आउट
out
लो
of there.
भाई
Leaf in the wind. Poppy does get
वो
the
भी
trade.
पकड़ा
The overstayed is welcome. That's the ace that opened up, unless of course next
हाँ
has
बोलना
something to say about it. This sports fight from Global
वो
is
तो
gonna
है
be
मार
proved to be
सकता
make or break, because if they don't win this round, it might be the end of this series right here. If they'll get up to 11.
Yes, but I have eaten everything, no?
Will give them match points.
Sweets, all that thing.
It would be a mountain to climb, and you don't have the
या
right
तो मिठाई
gear,
बांट रहा है
that's
बस ले
for sure.
हर रहे तो
Hmm?
But let's see if they can at least
मैं
find
बोला
some
हर रहे तो
towards
मिठाई
this
बांट रहा
round,
बोला तू
right? A bit of a reset onto the time.
नहीं बे
Still
मैं
do
निकाल
see
लगता
two
है
playing around this A site. You still got Nexi with his camera available.
हर जाके लग रहा
Still got the
है
trapway there as well. He's the one who's low on HP, however. And with nothing seen over at the C site, nothing over towards the B site as well. I think now
मेरे
it's
आउटलो भी ला लिया
idea
भाई इधर
that it was just a time reset back over towards this A site. Great dark cover timing. There's not much you
मेरे
can
को
do.
एक बात याद आई बताओ
Are Global
बोलना
Esports now. And even if you do try to wait it on out, it's not really
अनिकेत भाई
One enemy remaining. 30
अनिकेत
seconds left.
अनिकेत कहीं तो गया
Down A.
Perfect for Mojo to get in at the right time. Take that kill.
मैं बोल रहा था अगर मेरे को अकाउंट मिल जाए अभी भी जिता के दे सकता बोलो
Pushing up Ja from the other angle. Even though Ja went away, his undercut did the work for his team to actually secure that round perfectly. And Mojo
जान देना भाई
finishing things off in style. And now Global Esports in extreme dire straits as they need to just scrape the
दे दो
bottom
भाई
barrel.
स्लेयर को अकाउंट दे दो भाई योकम का अकाउंट दे दो जीता देगा भाई
Yeah, I mean, we
मैच
did hear it from Juvenile as
नहीं
well
उड़ने तो
earlier
वो
on,
नीचे है
right?
ना
Mouse is always been
कुछ
right
लगे तो भाई जीतना तो मतलब है ना
मेरे को पापी नहीं अनिकेत को पापी का दे दो
They come out good.
मेरे को
पता
योकम का दे
चला
दो
कोच
So this is the perfect
पता चला कोच का दे दी ले जीता
a lot of the weaknesses that this game will provide to build character, to build strength, to continue a growth development.
अरे पहले आता था तो
Looking for right now, but for now, I mean, they're for that on their own.
लगा
Look at that one. It drops the first kill.
Coming down a little bit, but he's still well and alive. Could probably swap up the weapon that he's got with somebody else just to give them a better fighting chance. Now re-clearing the space that Global Esports just got in. A drone's
Push कर रहा
coming
हूँ
in though towards
Oh,
A main, and I'm
timing.
not sure they expect this. Perfect. Xiaomi gets the first one, and instantly Global Esports are now starting to go back, and Emin just stops them in their
यूनिवर्स
tracks.
साला
Get the trade back.
चिल्लाता सिर्फ
Away from the fight at all. The recons were
क्रिस्टल ने स्पैम दिया
Crystal's
हाँ
gonna
वही
get Xavi.
मिनिमल क्या जीतने को ना
Just going going all out for the fight.
हाई एडवांटेज है
It
ना
must have been a little bit
अरे
easier,
लेकिन
but
इस
now
पे नहीं
it's
ना
a 1v2.
आउटला उस
Both
पे
of these players are one shot from the outlaw, so they need to be careful because they
रोटन
know that Mojo is on this outlaw, by the
30
way.
seconds left.
एक्सपेक्ट भी कर रहा है
नहीं रे
सही बे
Timing as well as this one out. There's the first.
भाई
Oh,
एक्स
well played by
हाँ ना
Soji!
सीटी
Where are the comms? Oh no, where is the idea that that one's coming from
अरे
there?
छोड़ना था
That
रे
is shambles.
भाई वो बैक साइड प्लान
And
को
now it is map point and match
अरे
point,
नहीं
series point.
अगर
To
बैक
now,
साइड से
and
मारा ना
Uni, there's
तो
9 of
छोड़ना
them.
था
हाँ मैं वही वो मारा जैसे ही इसको छोड़ना था
The
वही
biggest issue with me here was the
उसको
fact
लगा
that
होगा
NAOS,
ऑलमोस्ट
even
ये
after
होने को है
being beaten after taking so much pressure on towards mid, they still stuck to that fight. And
नहीं
they
रे बहुत
brought it
टाइम
down
था
to 2
हाफ
players on
नहीं
mid.
हुआ
They just committed, they said, okay, you know what, no matter
इसको
what,
पिक भी देना
we're
नहीं
gonna
था
get
मेरे
as
हिसाब
many
से
kills as we can.
चलो कोई
And they
नहीं
made
जीजी
sure
हो
that
गया
the
अभी
scorecards came down to a doable
हो गया
for Mojo.
हो गया
Honestly,
अब
not
तो
much stuff from them.
कोई नहीं
पैट्रिक वाई
हो गया जी हो गया
हेड टू आया
हैशटैग डाल दे
This time,
पैट्रिक को
expecting a better result, and he finds the greater one. The star player roster for Global Esports taken down. Gotta say, Patrick has had a phenomenal series over the first 2 maps.
वर्ल्ड किसके हाथ
Also
रहेगा
got the dimensional drift still available for now.
अब मेरे को अभी भी क्या लगता है टायर 2 टीम है ना एक्चुअली में टायर 2 टीम अच्छे है टफ तो दे टफ क्या हारे जी
जी का भी टायर पे ऊपर से जी का है ना अभी तो नए 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 टीम है उनका तो पुराना है
वही
तो ये सब लोग टायर 2 से ही आए ना कोई भी टायर 1 वाला नहीं है ना ये लोग भी टायर 2 वाले थे सब
तो फिर क्या
नहीं रे
लगता
अभी तो
है नॉर्मल
off-season है।
ऑफिशियल हाँ ऑफ सीजन है ना ऐसा जरूरी नहीं वो जानबूझ के भी हार सकते हैं क्या पता
थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा ना ये करने में
Treading towards B now.
और ऊपर से उन्होंने बोला ना
And
वो
while
पीछे
the
साउंड
sack
में
on
गाना
A
लगा
is
के
gonna
वो
be
लाइटिंग वगैरह
pretty good for them to instantly make their
क्या क्या
rotation
साउंड
to
वो
the
पिंग
ball.
का भी बोल सकते हो
अरे
तुम
वो
लोग
ना
पिंग का भी बोल रहे थे ना शायद
लैंड जैसा फील करवाने वाले इसलिए वो
हाँ हाँ और पिंग का भी बोल रहे थे ना तुम
हाँ मैं पिंक का तो मैं बोला भाई
40
40
तो ठीक है रे उतना
30 और 40 में बहुत मार दे
मैं तो भी मतलब इसमें तो ज्यादा भाई
उल्टा उनको ये
What?
It's all coming to a close. I don't know how Zavi managed to find one there. Positions found on Ayudo Khan with the neural theft coming on out, but Jar is on a rampage at the moment for 3. That's up onto the defuse. Did they know where Mojo is? The neural theft again, but the defuse is just being stuck at the moment. They say nay, as Mojo will put a close on this one, and Jar with the defuse. Universe, it's 13-3 to NAOS. Oh
Yep,
Lord,
absolutely.
Haven is their playground.
Man, that was a strong showing
ये
from
क्या बोल रहा
us here.
अभी क्या खेलने
Start
वाले
to
हो क्या
finish,
खेलने वाले हो?
really, really good.
ना तो नहीं यार हो गया
Pretty clear.
बहुत
They
ही
know
कब से बैठा
how
हुआ है
to play
Clear.
this ISO Euro.
अरे मैं ऑफिस में
Really
मैं
showcased it in the best way possible.
खेलता टाइम
And I
पास
think that Global Esports
चलो
has
guys,
a
आज का
lot-
stream मैं यही
a lot
खत्म
of
करता हूँ
fix, man.
चलो बाय
A
बाय
lot of it, of course,
चलो
the
बाय
fact that they need